Fair. And the Open to the World Horse Show, you see the midway there, folks on the Ferris wheel, and the judge and the ringmaster. The judge for this evening is Billy Renfro, and he is from Union Springs, Alabama, and a horse trainer in Shelbyville. He is not a horse trainer in Shelbyville. Oh, I see. Okay, Billy Renfro is from Alabama, and he is a horse trainer there, but he's here because he's going to the Shelbyville Horse Show. He's judged at Shelbyville. At any rate, Billy Renfro is your judge. Also, Master of Ceremonies this evening is Drew Hines. And we're beginning our first class here. Just a moment ago, we had the flag horse, the national anthem, which obviously we didn't get, they start that before our 7 o'clock broadcast, but the horse was just beautiful. And the horse's name was True, the True Masterpiece, ridden by Ralph Chaffin, who is the trainer, and owned by Kathy Wallace of Cookeville. And if you didn't get to see that tonight, then you'll want to tune in as we repeat highlights of the Putnam County Fair this winter. It'll be a regular series. This is our first class. This class is lead line. I guess that means that all the entries are being led. And you see all different ages there. In this class is number 45, Golden Boy. Is the horse's name, ridden by Justin Blaylock. Number 83 is Motion of Ebony, ridden by Danielle Nicole Lindsay. Number 292 is Thunder's Rebel, ridden by Matthew Hancock. Number 406 is My Skippadoo, ridden by Justin Brown. There you see Julie Vaughn leading the way. She's the owner of that horse. Number 113 is Abigail, ridden by Sally Gibbons. Number 42 is the horse's John's Gun, ridden by Joshua Brown. Number 142 is Morning Star, ridden by Gina McCormick. Gina McCormick. Number 147 107 is Proud Popper, ridden by Jeannie Bassell. Number 199 is Colors Blackjack, ridden by Tricia Braun of Sparta. Number 146 is Bar Roxy Girl, ridden by Allison Payne. Number 404 is Risky Samantha, ridden by Joshua Scott of Baxter. Number 143, as we mentioned before, is Skips Coco, ridden by Brandon Phipps of Livingston. And you see there number 83, which is Motion of Ebony, ridden by Danielle Nicole Lindsay of Cookeville. She's so little and so cute. Number 406, as we mentioned before, is My Skippadoo, by Justin Brown. Number 207 is Pride's Fair Chance, ridden by Katie Stevens. And number 180 is Queenie, ridden by Stephen Eldridge of Cookeville. And this is the lead line category. Beautiful horses and some very young riders. This gives the opportunity for some really young riders to get into the act since they are being led. So we're going to let you take a look at them and listen to the music of Wayne Neighbors, as he can certainly play that organ. You see there number 42, John's Gun, ridden by Joshua Brown. That horse is owned by Elizabeth Brown of Cookeville.
The exhibitors, beyond Yolanda Blaylock of Cookeville and Kathy Gibson of Cookeville. 292 is Thunderbolt.
There you see number 143. That's Skips Coco, ridden by Brandon Phillips, owned by Brandon Phipps, owned by Debbie Phipps of Livingston.
Joshua Brown, rider. Elizabeth Brown of Cookeville, the exhibitor.
292, Thunder's Rebel, ridden by Matthew Hancock of Jamestown, owned by Donnie Hancock.
Jeannie Bassell is the rider. 199, Colors Blackjack. Colors Blackjack is 199. That's Richard
Be Proud Popper, ridden by Junie Bell and owned by Tracy Bissell.
Number 207, Prize Fair Kiss. That's Katie Stevens up, and 180 is Sweeney with Stephen Eldridge, the rider. 13 entries in the lead line class. Temperature will bring it on the track now. Let's line them up.
113, Abigail, ridden by Sally Givens.
Lining up facing grandstand.
Sally's of Crossville. Debbie Norris has joined us, and we certainly appreciate you popping in here with us.
Just enjoy watching the Putnam County Horse Show.
That's right. It's going to be a good night, too.
Beautiful night. We've got a lot of horses here to see and a lot of pretty kids.
This is the lead line, and I assume, since I don't know a great deal about this, that means they're being led around.
That's right. We've got a lot of little mamas and daddies out there with a lot of big kids.
That's right. That's right. Some beautiful horses and beautiful riders.
Absolutely. They sure do look nice. Got a lot of them that have gone to a lot of trouble to look alike.
That's true. There's a great example right there. That rider and the leader are dressed just alike and looking sharp.
I'm sure the judge takes a lot of that in consideration on this particular class.
And the crowd has picked out favorite. Or at least part of the crowd. There's a good crowd here this evening also. It's a great night, and of course this is the big event of the week.
The last night.
The last night. Everybody's got to get that last bag of cotton candy and ride the last ride and see the horse show.
I think everybody in Putnam County decided to come tonight. The traffic's all the way back down to the square.
I bet it is. Well, you know, I got here at 5:30, and it was back halfway to that point.
At 6:30, it made it.
6:30, it made it to the square.
I haven't had my cotton candy, my candied apple all week.
No. Well, you're gonna make up for it tonight,
Absolutely.
Youth Western Pleasure entries, you'll be getting ready. You're coming to
Well, I told them you were
Western
coming.
Pleasure entries will be
I said, Debbie Norris, she's coming now, so you just hang in there. So you got held up in traffic. We're glad you're here.
Held up in traffic, blowing balloons up.
Oh, were you? Well, you should bring us some of those up here. We'll have to.
We'll get in a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And our master of ceremonies this evening is Drew Huffine, and Drew will be announcing the winners in a few moments, so we'll make sure that you get to hear that. And we have our fairest to the fair to make the presentation this evening. Our judge tonight is Billy Renfro.
From Union Springs, Alabama.
Right. I messed this all up, but actually he's a horse trainer in Alabama, and he's been judging at Shelbyville. Or he has judged at Shelbyville.
Top quality people. I talked to Jimmy Robertson the other night, who happens to be one of the people on the horse show committee for the Putnam County Horse Show, and he told me that what they did this year to keep from having any biased people at all, they just called the Walking Horse Association and said, pick out the judge, pick out the farrier, pick out the steward, and send them on up. We don't really want to know who it is.
Well,
And I think that
that's an idea.
is good. The judge appears to be having a little problem in deciding exactly who he wants to place first and in what order he wants the other places. It's a tough class to judge tonight.
It's a big class. So we read off all the names. I believe he's going to give that information to Drew, and we'll turn to Drew for the winners, I suppose.
So now, if you will, exhibitors, please. I want the following entries, if you will, just to turn, pull right back in off the track on the inside.
Oh, what are they going to do? Going to have a little workout in the lead line class. I thought he looked like he was having a hard time making a good decision.
Oh, so he's going to pull some in on the grass?
This is real unusual for a lead line class.
146. That's 146. 146. Just pull right back in off the track, you will, please. Number 406. 406, you'll pull in. Those entries pulled in. We'll ask the others to be excused, and want you to give all of these other entries now a big round of applause. We excuse and say thanks to you for your contribution to the class tonight.
And they pulled in several, and they are excusing the rest.
As soon as the other entries now
You see
vacate the
some of
ring, we're
them
going to
going
ask
there.
those of you.
All of them did a great
You'll
job,
be going
though.
right up to the end of the ring, clean, coming back in on the track. If you will, please, in a small circle, so we'll get a chance at a final look at you.
So evidently he's picked out his top 5, and now he's got to decide which order he's going to place these top 5.
And I guess the crowd will decide which one they're going to choose.
Absolutely, he'll have to give them a lot of weight in their judgment.
That's a small right there.
That would probably have to be my number 1 choice. I've never seen a child that small on top of a horse.
The fact that he can stay
Hold
up there
on.
is pretty good.
Well, look, they've got him belted in.
They sure do.
That little girl certainly is cute.
She really isn't. She's riding nice and straight. I believe our top 5, I believe you see there Justin Brown riding My Skip-a-Doo. That's owned by Julie Vaughn of Cookville, and I believe Julie's leading the way. There you see Julie. And as we mentioned the other night, she is the quarter horse queen for Tennessee.
First one we've had in 10 years, and she'll be representing us at the Quarter Horse Congress.
And also in this category, Golden Boy, ridden by Justin Blaylock. And there you see the owner is Yolanda Blaylock of Cookville. And next is Pride Spare Choice, ridden by Katie Stevens, owned by Randall Pitcock of Cookville. And there you see Queenie, ridden by Stephen Eldridge, owned by Donald Preston of Cookville. And Bar Roxy Girl is ridden by Allison Payne and owned by Ken Bryant of Cookville. So those are our top 5 choices by the judge, and he will, I guess, from there select his, in what order they're going to go, right?
That's right. I believe Ken leading.
Bar Roxy Girl?
Allison, yes. But Allison Payne
Is the rider. Now, is that the one that's dressed just alike?
Yes.
The blue shirt and the red bow tie. Oh, and there's now let me find. That must be Katie Stevens riding Pride Spare
Youth Western
Chance.
Players, be ready, standing by, please. Youth Western Players, if you begin the call in just a moment.
There you see Allison Payne on Bar Roxy Girl. And I believe we're getting ready for the winners, so we'll turn to Drew Hubbines.
You know, Drew's been master of ceremonies for horse shows all across Middle Tennessee for a number of years. And the people that go on this walking horse circuit every weekend across the state look forward to seeing the same familiar faces as the NC, or like Wayne Neighbors as the organist, because it makes them feel a little more comfortable, a little more comfortable. You'll notice some of the jokes that he tells are jokes that these people will relate to rather than the crowd, actually.
There's Wayne Neighbors.
Escort is Bubba Walker. Your first place award, if you will, you'll turn and get right back in on the same side you parked for the presentation, and that blue ribbon and the trophy in this class goes to entry number 207, Pride Spare Chance. Katie Stevens is riding. Randall Pitcock is the exhibitor. Katie Stevens rides to the blue ribbon and the trophy. Second goes to entry number 406, My Skip-a-Doo. Justin Brown riding. Julie Vaughn is the exhibitor. My Skip-a-Doo with exhibitor 406 is second. to entry number 180. That's Queenie. Stephen Eldridge is the rider. Donald Preston of Cookville, the exhibitor. Stephen Eldridge riding Queenie, 180 to third. Exhibit, if you will, you'll exit on the opposite end of the ring to where you entered. Fourth award, fourth place in this class, go to number 45, Golden Boy. Justin Blaylock is the rider. Yolanda Blaylock of Cookville is the exhibitor. 45, that's Golden Boy with Justin Blaylock riding to fourth. And the fifth award in the class, fifth goes to 146 for Roxy Girl. Allison Payne is the rider. Ken Bryant of Cookville, the exhibitor. Allison Payne riding for Roxy Girl. 146 is fifth in the class. And that's the lead line competition for the evening, and everybody gets a big round of applause for a job well done by a group of youngsters. The handlers did a pretty good job also.
Okay. And Becky, that was in the first place prize fair choice with Katie Stevens up. And Randall Peacock was the leading that one. So that was a real good number one choice.
And Debbie, we have some special guests here while we're waiting for our second class to start, I suppose. And we've got, hey, there we go. We know these smiling faces. We have with us Kathy Wallace and Brenda Turnage, and you folks are from Cookville, and you're going to be riding tonight, right? Tell me, what class are you entered in, Kathy?
I'll be showing in Class 10, that's amateur specialty, and Class 17, open amateur.
And which one are you riding in, Brenda?
I'll be Class 12, 15-2 and under. I have a little horse.
Well, that's great. That's okay. We'll be looking for you then tonight. Kathy, unfortunately, our broadcast started before or after the flag horse, although we did tape it, so we'll be seeing it during a rebroadcast. But that was a beautiful horse, and that was your horse, right?
Yes, he's the one I'll be showing in open amateur.
Oh, you'll be showing him tonight?
Yes.
Okay, well, great. Debbie, do you have some questions you want to ask these?
These girls are both new, relatively new to this horse circuit. How long have you been showing?
I've been showing two years.
Right.
This is 2 years. It took me a lot of years to get to these 2 years.
But it's certainly a lot of fun, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I think it's great.
How about you, Kathy? You've been showing
About the same length of time.
Really?
I started out on a pleasure horse, flat shot horse, but about 2 years, I guess.
But now, what made you decide to get into it then? I know you've watched it a long time.
It's just something I always wanted to do. We've always had pleasure horses around, and I've just always wanted to do it. It just took me a while.
How about you, Brenda?
That's the same. I used to watch Debbie when she was little. And I've always wanted to. I've always rode horses and loved them, but it takes a lot of nerve to get out there in that ring.
I'm sure it takes a lot of discipline. You have to work at it all the time.
We work at it a lot. Ralph Chatton, our trainer, he works with us a lot, almost as much as he does the horses.
How often do you have to ride for a show a week, say?
Well, every chance we get, but I'll go down at least 2 or 3 times a week to ride.
It takes at least that much, doesn't it?
Yeah, Ralph gets the horses ready for us, and then he rides them every day. And then I ride about 3 times a week, but I really need to ride about 6 times a week.
Kathy, how about you?
Every chance I get, about 3 or 4 days a week, I'll ride.
It's most of the time just as important for the rider to ride it as often as possible as it is for that horse to be.
Well, the horse has to get used to you. You need to get used to the horse, and it's not like people think you can go get on a horse and they're supposed to do all these big things. It does not work that way.
The easier you make it work, the harder work you put into it.
Right. Well, how often did you used to ride when you showed?
Well, it was to be every day, but it didn't work out that way.
You were better.
No, not at all. I have one more question. I know because you guys have to, said you were going to go get ready, and I know it takes a lot of preparation in the back to get up here to the front. What advice would you give someone who maybe has always thought and wanted to do this, but really hasn't? And since you're new into it and you did, watch for a while, do you have any advice you'd give to somebody?
Go ahead and try.
Go for it. If you want to do it, and if you've got the love for it, just get out there and make yourself do it. I have been wanting to do this for a long time, and I've missed all of these years by not just going for it. So do it.
Okay, you heard it. Do it. Go the horse and work at it, right?
Right.
Okay, well, we wish you guys a lot of luck, and we'll be looking for you out here. Okay, we're going to take you now to the second class that we're into. And Debbie, what would that be? Well, let's see. Let's get the
Our
book.
second class tonight is the Youth Western Pleasure. And we have quite a few entries in this class tonight.
Okay. This is the Youth Western Pleasure class, and
12 entries showing the Youth Western Pleasure class, and your entry number 141 is Miss Bars. Shane Sullivan is fighting this entry. 155 Diamond Desperado.
Okay.
Amy Shores is in the saddle tonight.
and this is class number 2, and we're going to let you know some of the folks who are in here.
Riding Proud Popper. Number 13,
And
Roxy Girl. Molly Bryan in the irons.
yeah, go ahead and tell us who's in this class.
Okay, we have entry number 141 is Ms. Bars with Shane Sullivan up, the owner being Shane Sullivan. We have number 155 with Diamond Desperado with Amy Shores up. We have 119 Proud Popper with Tracy Bassell, the owner and the rider. Number 13 is Bar Roxy Girl with Molly Bryant, and Ken Bryant's the owner. Number 44 is My Skipper Do with Cindy Rose up, and Preston Vaughn, Quarter Horse, is the owner. Number 150 is My Fula with Ken Hightower of Sparta up. Number 14 is Plenty of Jewelry. Leanne Allen is up. 147 is Shiloh Vanna with Sylvia Mathis up, and the owner is Catherine Fan of Baxter. 409 is Brandy with Jeremy Riddle from Cookville. 117 is Leo Showboy with Sharon Franklin. Number 50 is Spanish Idol with Morning Rita up, and Morning Rita is the owner and the rider.
You did very well. This is kind of hard to read because it's been written very quickly.
Especially without glasses.
No, you weren't supposed to tell that part. And this is the Youth Western Pleasure, as we've mentioned before. And we got some folks with us who will be talking to as the judging is going on, because there are some special entries in this class. Some folks who have placed very high in the 4-H competition on a state level. And we've got some folks here to tell us about them. Elizabeth Shores is with us. And Elizabeth, tell us who's in this particular competition that would be on this, would be categorized in this state level. Okay, hold on, do we have the mic up? Let me make sure. Okay, go ahead.
And Tracy Bassell.
Who was the first one?
Shannon Franklin is showing Showboy. Tracy Bassell is showing Proud Popper, and Amy Shore is showing Diamond Desperado. And they all competed in the quarter horse class at the state 4-H show and done very, very well. Now, Wes sitting here by me showed the walking horse class and placed well. Would you like to know what they won?
Yes, tell us what they won. This is Wes Robertson, and you'll all get a chance to see him in just a moment. Yeah, tell us what they won.
Okay, Amy won Junior Guild of the state. She got also 4th in growing and training and 9th seed in stock seed equitation. She was a high point 4th grader in the state of Tennessee this year. Shannon Franklin on Showboy won 4th in trail, and she also won 9th in horsemanship and 7th in reining, and she placed in English also. And we're all very proud of our quarter horse kids here from the county. We have got a very good 4-H horse project club that anybody interested in horses, we'd be more than happy to have them to contact us.
Sure, well, that's terrific. This is the Youth Western Pleasure, and as Elizabeth Shores was mentioning to it, we have 4 different young people who have placed at a state level, Debbie, on horse showing. And we'll try and of course, we want to make sure you see all of our entries here. As we mentioned before, we'll make sure that maybe we can get a shot of these folks. That's Tracy Bassell, and she is one of the state winners. And there's Amy Shores. She's one of our other 4-H state winners.
These kids have really had to work hard to get to this point.
They have done extremely well this year. We're proud of them.
well to get to the point that they've gotten at. And that's number 14 we're looking at. Who is?
Let's see here. Who is number 4? That's Leanne Allen on Plenty of Jewels.
That's one of the girls you're talking about? No. Okay.
No. Leanne did not go to the state play. But there are 3 different people in this particular contest, our state winners. And we'll be seeing, we've seen 2 of them already, and we're looking for the other one, which we're going to get to see here in a minute. This is number 44. That's Cindy Reese on Skip-a-Doo. They've gone into a lope. Is that what it's called?
Going to a lope. And you'll notice some of these kids are going to do like we were talking the other night. They're going to wait until they get on into the curve and to ask the horse to go into the lope, so they'll be sure to take the right lead. These kids have worked real hard to learn how to make the calls on their horses as well as they do. In fact, a lot of these kids show as well as some of the professionals, and certainly as well as a lot of the adults.
And they're all doing a really nice job. This is a fun class to watch. It really is. And I know that you all have worked.
There's a lot of time and everything put into getting these horses ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think Elizabeth is telling us some information here. Hold on just a second, Elizabeth. Let's make sure you get your mic up. Maybe we can keep this up for the time. Go ahead.
Most of the kids will do their own training and their own grooming. And it's a lot of hard work and a lot of long hours put in on this.
I'm sure it is. I know it, and it shows. They do a really nice job. Now, Wes, there we go. That's our other 3rd state finalist, and that's Shannon Franklin. And she is also a state winner. And we have Wes Robertson here with us, and Wes, you placed on the walking horse level, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now we're gonna. Okay, here we are. Tell me your name.
Judy Bassell.
And Judy, you work with this particular project.
Yes.
And what would you like to say to encourage other, maybe young people out there who would be interested in getting involved in the 4-H horse project?
Well, we do a lot of things for the kids that they really enjoy. We have cookouts. It's not just all work. We have fun things too. We have pizza parties, and we have saddle cleaning clinics, and
Just a lot of fun.
just anything that involves horses.
And Wes, how about you? You had first. Now you didn't get to ride tonight because you have a broken collarbone, right?
Yes.
But you'll be entering in the competition in just a little bit, probably. Tell us about that. What do you plan on doing for that?
In this show, I've got a girl riding my horse from Cookville, Sherry Maybe. This will be her 2nd time to show this year, or ever, and she's done a real good job riding him because I can't ride him, and I have to have somebody ride my horse.
But all 4 people, all these 4-H state finalists will be going to an additional competition, right, Elizabeth?
Well, now, one girl has done one to the Southern Regionals. 3 of them chose not to go this year because it was in Cadiz, Texas.
I see.
And next year, we've got our fingers crossed that the competition will take place in Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, great.
So if it comes to Tennessee, I'm quite sure we're going to have a lot of kids from Putnam County.
Oh, I'm sure you will, and I hope a lot of people will take part. And Wes, you have anything you want to say to people who might be watching that'll encourage them to get involved?
It's fun. We do a lot of neat things, and we need some more boys in it.
Okay. Well, you probably have a good market on the girls there, but I'm sure that would be interesting to have some more guys in the field there. So, okay, fellas, you've heard it. You need to join the 4-H Horse Club, right? Project, okay? Thanks a lot, folks, for coming up here, and we'll be watching to see how the state finalists do out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's one thing I never heard of was a saddle cleaning party. I can imagine they make a lot of money.
They have a good time.
Our judge for this category is a woman, Hilda Hadley. Thanks a lot for telling that. I didn't know that. Is she from around here, anywhere?
Around Franklin.
Around Franklin. So not a local person, which is probably good for the competition, and we'll see how it turns out. She's a very good judge. I've been assured. So. Okay. Well, thank you all for being with us, and we wish you luck. Well, thank you.
4-H is certainly more involved in the horse shows than they were when I was young, and I think that's wonderful.
That's a wonderful idea. I had never realized that they even had that kind of a project. But there you see Cindy Reese on My Skip-a-Doo.
The judge is really looking her over.
And Diamond Desperado, that's Amy Shores riding. And Amy was one of the state finalists, or state winners, that we just heard about from the 4-H Horse Project. You can see they're making the decision. That would be a hard decision to make because there's a lot of entries in this particular category. We're getting a good light. They are lined up on the south side tonight, and we're getting a good look because Richard Tassel is over there on the camera. But he's going to join us later.
Good.
And they did a wonderful job flying our cable over. I guess our crew did a wonderful job. There's Richard flying our cable over there. And they're getting he's doing a great job getting that side of the field. We normally have not had the opportunity to have a look on the south side, but
no, we sure have. And I think that they're really getting a better view on TV than we are from where we're sitting.
That's true. That's true. We want to thank F&I Cable, who loaned us, or actually brought a cherry picker out. That's one of those big bucket trucks, you know.
How wonderful.
And to fly the cable out there. So we certainly appreciate their support of Channel 22.
Awards in this, the youth Western class will be Christina Maynard. She was the first runner-up in the Fairs of the Fair competition this week.
Let you know who these entries are again real fast as we're waiting for the winners. Shane Sullivan is on It's Bars, Amy Shores on Diamond Desperado, Kim Elmore on Tardy's Pleasure, Tracy Bissell on Proud Popper, Molly Bryant on Bar Roxy Girl, Cindy Reese on My Skip-a-Doo, Carrie Hightower on Might Fool Ya, she's from Sparta, Leanne Allen on Plenty of Jewels.
Your first place award.
Oh, and we're going to hear the first place, so we're going to turn over
100 Tardy's Pleasure. That's Kim Elmore. Kim Elmore, the honor rider. She's from Coastville. Tardy's Pleasure is first. Across the ring, Kim. All other awards will be presented on the same side of the ring. Your parked on 119. Your second. Proud Popper. Tracy Bissell is the honor rider from Coastville. Tracy Bissell, right, Proud Popper, second. And the third award goes to entry number 44, My Skip-a-Doo. Cindy Reese rides. Horse on the Preston Fun, quarter horses of Cookville, and Cindy Reese on My Skip-a-Doo. 44 is third. If you will, you'll go out on the opposite end of the ring that you entered. The gate on the opposite end of the ring you entered, if you will, please, is your exit gate. Fourth place award, fourth goes to 14, Plenty of Jewels. Leanne Allen rides. Entry on the Johnny Judd of Cookville. Leanne Allen aboard Plenty of Jewels. 14 is fourth. And the fifth place award goes to entry entry number 50, Spanish Idol. Morning Meta. Cookville, the owner rider on Spanish Idol number 50 is Phil. Thanking all of the entries, if you will, please, for your contribution to the class. Let's give them all a round of applause for a fine youth Western pleasure.
Our winner from Master of Ceremonies, Drew Pines. First place went to Kim Elmore of Crossville on Hardy's Pleasure. Second place to Tracy Bissell on Proud Popper, and Tracy was one of the 4-H state winners, I guess, from the 4-H Horse Pride. Third place was Cindy Reese on My Skip-a-Doo. Fourth place, Leanne Allen on Plenty of Jewels. And fifth place went to Moretta on Spanish Wool.
So we have a very happy Kim Elmore tonight from Crossville then.
Yes, that's Spanish Idol.
The two-year-old walking horses into the ring next.
But anyway,
Some of these kids had to come a long way to get here to help us with a good horse show tonight.
They
We
did.
appreciate it.
And they put together a really good show.
They
That was
certainly
interesting.
did.
And it's nice to see a mixture of the Western pleasure and the walking horse. And later on this evening, I believe we'll
We've
have
got
another
ranking
Western class.
horses. We've got road horses to buy. We've got a good body tonight. You know, we lost a couple of classes this year that we had last year.
Oh.
One of them was the ladies amateur, and another one I think was one of the juvenile classes. But those same entries can enter other classes that will be seeing. So we haven't missed any horses. We've shortened the show by a couple classes.
Well, and that may have, I believe last year we were here till midnight and we still weren't finished with the show.
So we'll be done earlier tonight, I hope.
We'll see. But at any rate, we got started at 7 o'clock and we're doing pretty good.
We're moving right along. We have a good, nice, cool night tonight.
It really is. It's a perfect night for the fair. So if you haven't been to the fair yet, you still have plenty of time to come on down. It's early yet.
That's right. We've only seen 2 classes, and the last one was the Youth Western Pleasure, and the next one is the 2-year walking horse.
And that should be a good class.
That will be a good class. Now, those horses are not required to canter because they're so young. So this will be a good class.
And then there'll be the roadster ponies to bike after that, right?
That's right.
And so there's
That's my
lots
favorite.
Yeah, that's a good class. That's fun to watch.
It's a good look at the midway.
Yeah, it's going strong. And the food booths, you can go down there and get you all those good fair hamburgers and hot dogs, cotton candy and candy apples and ice cream and
We need our cotton candy.
we're going to have to get one. We'll have to make a cotton candy run before long.
I noticed tonight they're doing something different, and they're having the horses come in on one end of the ring and go out on the other. So this will help expedite and keep the traffic down since there is so many people here tonight.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Oh, here we are. And they're coming in.
Okay.
And looking good.
And this is class number 3.
We only have
7 entries, I believe, in this particular class. Noble West from August, Tennessee, riding the exit. Number 99. Number 87 is Carl Hollingsworth of Sparta, riding Super Roma. Number 106, Kenneth Grider, riding Pride's Rising Moon, and he's from Mount Juliet.
We're looking at number 36 now.
That's Jerry Williams on Ebb's Classy Lad. And there you see 106, and that is Kenneth Grider on Pride's Rising Moon.
And we have Ralph Chaffin on The Heat Is On.
These are just some of the other folk in the show. Let's see. That's number 47, who is Bobby Sawyers from Albany, I guess, on Self-Winder's Rascal.
That's right. He's been showing for a number of years in this area.
There you see Ralph Chaffin, and he's certainly a favorite of the crowd. He's on The Heat Is On.
And he's the one that Brenda said trains her horses.
That's right. And the particular horse he's on is owned by Kathy Wallace, who was up here talking with us earlier. And that's Jerry Williams on Ebb's Classy Lad. There you see Todd Bennett on Pride's
Senator Lady.
And he's from Deer Lodge. So we have a good showing tonight from out of town in this particular class.
A good look at Carl Hollingsworth from Sparta.
87, Carl Hollingsworth of Sparta on Ciceroma. 106 rides Rising Moon. It's Ryder the Rider for Kid and Wonder Glider.
And Bobby Sawyer on Self-Wonder's Rascal from Albany.
Peggy, you see these are a little bit better horses than what we saw the other night because show is open to the world tonight. These horses do show the true performance of a walking horse. You'll see how his head's moving with every step that he takes. And then tonight we're looking at number 99 with Noble West. You'll notice tonight the horse is a little better groomed than they were the other night. In that we had so much mud that they weren't able to they had their tails tied up and they just really couldn't go to the lengths that they have.
The track looks great tonight, doesn't it?
We've got a beautiful track tonight. Everything's good, clean for them, and so we're able to see the horses in their full dress tonight. There's one with one of the swatches we were talking about the other night. He has a wig on.
Oh, is that what that is?
Uh-huh.
A tail wig. There's Ralph Chaffin again on The Heat Is On.
And that's a real good example of a walking horse. See how he picks those feet up so high and moves the front legs up high and out and scoots the hind legs up underneath him.
That's a beautiful, has an unusual coloring with the light mane and the dark body.
That is an unusual color for walking horses because most of the time they look for it to be a solid black or a bay. It's your top two colors, but that certainly is a showy color.
Man, they're doing a great job here. What are they looking for right now, Debbie?
The judge is looking for how much ease the rider can ride with, how smooth the horse is in picking his feet up and the hind movement of the legs scooting up underneath him. And he's asking them to go into a running walk, and they'll just speed it up quite a bit. And this is where the little bit of excitement comes in because the ones that have been laid back, taking it easy, now they've got to see how many they can pass and how much speed they can pick up without breaking their gait or losing a step.
Not only do the horses look good, but the riders look sharp too, don't they?
They do tonight. They don't mind at all being out with their full riding habit on. And you'll notice these men's jackets, when they're sitting on the horse, look about like their normal suit length. But when they're not on the horse and they're just standing up, those jackets come all the way down to their knees.
Oh.
And it look more or less like a dress with a pretty full skirt. They're supposed to represent what a Southern gentleman would have looked like.
Well, they're doing a good job. I'd say these are all fine Southern gentlemen here tonight.
I'd say you're right. The judge has called for them to come back down to a flat foot walk. They'll go around the ring about one more time and he'll call them in a minute. So he's taking his final look at them. The judge is on our side of the ring for this class, and so what they'll do is they come around in front of us. They'll perform just a little bit better when they're on the judge's backside, then they'll kind of take it easy. You'll notice that the riders every once in a while, they'll never look at the crowd. They'll turn, they'll look at the judge just every once in a while to see what he's doing to see if they can take a break.
And we have a really good crowd tonight. The grandstand is good and full on both sides.
It's the best crowd we've had since Monday night.
It really is. And they're lining up on our side of the track tonight. Although now with our camera out in the center, we have both sides, I guess. Can't say that anymore.
No. Our ringmaster tonight's really going to a lot of work to make sure they're lined up and where the judge is not going to have to walk so far to get from horse to horse. Our ringmaster is Donald Pierce. He's one of the deputy sheriffs for the Putnam County Sheriff's Department.
So not only gets people in line, he's going to get these horses in line.
He's well experienced, I'd say. Our judge will go around and look at each entry in this class as well as all classes tonight. And Becky, when he goes around to take a look at these horses, he's going to be looking at their conformation, meaning that he's going to look at their coloring. Some people go to the effort, if they've got stocking or white legs, we call them stocking legs, they may go the effort of dyeing them, and he's going to look at this. If you look at this horse's feet, if you can see it as he goes by, these people, if you'll notice, that one's front hooves are black while the back ones are brown or whatever. Not the dirt did that. What they do is they polish those hooves with shoe polish.
Oh, is that right?
That's how much trouble that these riders and trainers go to make sure that everything is in perfect show condition.
And that's allowed? That's
oh,
okay.
Yeah. They can dye their hair color. They can polish the hooves. They can do anything cosmetically just about they want to, including the wigs. And
well, I'd say he's got a tough decision to make on this particular class. I'm going to run through again quickly. We have Noble West on the exit from Allgood, Carl Hollingsworth on Super Roma from Sparta, Kenneth Grider on Pride's Rising Moon from Mount Juliet, Ralph Chaffin on The Heat Is On from Cookville, Bobby Sawyers on Self-Winder's Rascal from Albany, Gary Williams on Ed's Classic Lad
in the finish of the beer competition this week. She will be presenting awards. She's escorted by Biff Anderson. She'll present the blue ribbon and the trophy. In the class, other awards will be presented by Abigail Renee Glass, Little Miss of Putnam County Fair, daughter of Steve and Darlene
Donald
Glass.
Pierce is to the end, so Drew should be giving us the results just any second now. The judge is not wasting any time at all.
No, he's really not. He's moving through this rapidly, so. And we saw a few moments ago a good shot of one of our pageant winners, and these lovely ladies will be handing out the ribbons this evening and doing a fine job of it.
How often do you see that many men with hats on now?
Not very often. And he's not very often at all. There's one of our pageant winners. And here we're listening to the winners.
For the presentation of the awards, all other awards will be presented on the same side that you're parked. The first place award, first place in the 2-year-old walking competition goes to entry number 407. He is on. Ralph Chapman riding for Catherine Wallace of Cookville. 407. The He Is On is first in the class. Ralph Chapman on the He Is On. Second award in the class. Entry number 106, Pride's Rising Moon. Kenneth Grider is the rider for Ken Wonder Grider, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Riders, remember now, you'll leave the ring on the opposite end that you entered, leaving on the opposite end that you entered the ring on. Number 2, first place winner, you're to go back by the checking station for normal. Third place award, third goes to entry number 80, son, Super Roma. Carl Hollingsworth of Sparta is the honor rider. Carl Hollingsworth of Super Roma, number 87, is third. Fourth place award, fourth in this class, goes to entry number 99. That's the exit. Noble West Allgood is the owner and the rider. Fifth place award, fifth goes to number 57, Self-Winder's Rascal. Bobby Sawyers is the rider, riding for Dr. Susan Cash, Albany, Kentucky. Self-Winder's Rascal 47 is Phil. Let's show appreciation for a good 2-year-old class. A round of applause. Come on, let's hear from you. And below play winning entry, a fun pass around the ring, winning entry in the class of 407. The Heat Is On. Ralph Chapman up for
Tonight, Debbie, we know who won in the third class there.
Okay, our number 1 winner was a happy Ralph Chaffin up on The Heat Is On.
There you see Ralph right now. That horse is owned by Kathy Wallace, and he was definitely a crowd favorite.
He absolutely was definitely a good show. Our number 2 was Kenneth Grider on Prize Rising Moon. Number 3 was Carl Hollingsworth from Sparta on Super Roma. 4th was Noble West from Allgood on the exit. And 5th was Bobby Sawyer on Self-Winder's Rascal.
And that was a great class, and we got to see some really good horses.
We saw some great... probably the best class we've seen at Putnam County Fair this year so far. So tonight should prove to be a really great night.
And the crowd's into it, aren't they?
They really are. You know, that helps the judge so much.
I would. And I would think it would help the riders. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, here it comes. Here's your favorite.
Unless you're on the back side, you're yelling for somebody else. Oh, this is my class.
This is the one that you like the most. I don't blame you.
They're going the opposite direction. The first trip around that is
We've not got many entries tonight at all.
Ponies in the ring.
Only 3, I believe.
Aboard.
And they really have a beautiful track for it tonight. It's not muddy, but and it's not dusty. So it should be perfect riding weather.
Looks like we've got a girl up tonight riding.
Number 367 on Radiant is Stephanie McGinnis from Knoxville. Downtown Strutter, 366. That's Jim McGinnis. And
Bobby Holder from Maryville on 105 Kingman's Red Rooster.
And we'll try and pick those out for you as we go along. But that was Stephanie. There's Stephanie, you see?
Real unusual to see a girl in one of these classes.
To show you a little bit of speed. And that's when we'll ask you for your applause to kind of get them excited.
We don't really have many people that do that in our area, do we?
I don't know of anyone that has a roadster to bike, pony or horse, either one. Primarily what you see these in East Tennessee or in Kentucky. So it's a real thrill to have these people even come into our area. One thing that happens, they stop off in Cookville on their way to Chevyville. Started last night, the World Championship Horse Show. So they very well are on their way to Chevyville and just stopped off. Last year, we had quite a few more entries than we did this year.
Yeah, we really did. There you see Bobby Holder of Maryville. And I would say, I guess the McGinnises are related.
Sure. This is one year I didn't have time to go back behind the barns to talk to them and see them. But if you'll notice, these horses or ponies are taking a different gait altogether than the last class we just looked at. And they're trotting, which is entirely different gait than the walking horses. And if you could take a still picture, there are every 4th step, there's not any feet on the ground. So their little feet are
moving.
And they go straight up, both the hind feet and the back feet, causing a prancing motion. That's a real good picture there of it.
And this is a fun event for the crowd, something that everybody gets into.
Yeah, the judge is looking to see how high and straight up they pick those feet up and put them back down, and how prancy they are, how well the pony carries himself by holding his head up and his ears pointed forward. And they're going to reverse, and it takes quite a bit of room for these to turn around.
I would say so.
Now, they'll turn around and they'll go back at a slow jog, and then Drew will ask them to move on. And when he does, he's also going to ask everybody to get off the rail because they flat move on. And he's also asking the crowd to show who their winner is by applauding, and so we should have some good response from this.
There you see Jim McGinnis of Knoxville of downtown Strutter. And there's Stephanie McGinnis of Radiant, also from Knoxville. I believe that is the first female or lady that we've ever seen in this particular.
First one that I can remember in Cookville in the roadster class.
Rotate, please. Rotate your pony.
I'm not real sure, but I think this Kingman's Red Rooster is the one that was here last year that's won 13 times, and they won last year as well.
I believe it is. That's Bobby Holder from Maryville, and I remember that name.
If he wins tonight, I believe it'll be his 15th win at the Putnam County Show.
There you go. There's Bobby Holder on Kingman's Red Rooster. But he's got some stiff competition, I'd say, tonight, so it'll be an interesting season.
If you'll notice, they don't use these whips.
They just
crackle them. They crackle them every which one. So now he's asked them to go on, and they're supposed to go at speed. And if you'll notice, they're moving on along.
They sure are.
and they've got the room. There's not too many in here tonight that they can go ahead and move on. And in fact, to get them to stop in a few minutes, he'll use a whistle. Because normally the crowd gets so enthused that they can't hear him
telling them to stop.
That's right.
Well, Bobby Holder's taking off. He's passing them up now.
And that's our man that's won 14 times.
And
so.
he, I believe, is the crowd favorite. He's getting a good hand from the north side of the grandstand.
Well, you think about it. That little horse has got to be 16 years old then.
I guess so.
You can't start showing them till they're 2, and if he's already won 14 times, he's making an awfully good show to be that old.
Certainly.
Their 1 year is equal to our 4 or 7.
I couldn't run fast when I got that. I can't run that fast now. And they're going to line up on the south side of the grandstand. And Drew just asked for a big hand from the crowd for the folks from East Tennessee who brought the Roadster ponies to bike, and that is certainly a treat for us for them to do that.
The Roadster pony class has been a very, very valuable part of the show, and we've always appreciated the contribution that East Tennessee.
You're watching WCCE TV, Cookeville, Tennessee.
One time on the show. A little later tonight, we'll be bringing back the road horses to bike. That'll be a little later tonight. Another class in this 19 class show.
Well, I guess everybody will get a ribbon in this class, huh?
I don't
Maybe?
think that's a heavy thing to worry about there. You realize that if a class has less than 4 entries, the Horse Show Committee has the right to cancel that class out altogether.
Oh, really?
But considering the fact that these have come as far as they have, I'm sure they wouldn't even consider canceling this particular class.
I would say that a really uproar from the crowd.
That's right. Maryville's, what, 3 hours away?
That's right.
You see how these ponies are stretched out?
Now, so are these like racing ponies?
No. But I think 40% of what they're judged on is on speed. So it's really not racing, but
that same sort of
the speed is a very important part since that gives them 40% of what they're judged on.
And there you see our fairest of the fair, Kim Harville, Kim from Monterey, and looking very pretty tonight.
Just don't take me long to look at a horseshoe. This is the road pony to bike competition. We're going to ask that winning entry now, if you will, please. We're going to take him around the ring, and we'll ask the other entries, all entries, if you would, just pull him right in on the track a little bit, so we'll have a little bit of room when we announce that winning entry. Presenting the awards in this class.
And I believe Drew is going to be giving us the winner here in just a moment. Here he goes.
First place award in the class goes to entry number 105, Kingman's Red Rooster. Bobby Holder is the whip for Holder and Haskell, Maryville, Tennessee. Going to take him around, Bobby. And a great time to show your appreciation of the first place winner at the Putnam County Fair. To be presented on the opposite side that you were parked, and that ribbon and the trophy to Bobby Holder on Kingman's Rooster, 105 for Holder and Haskell, Maryville, Tennessee. Thank you, Bobby. Second place award. The other awards will be presented the same side that you're parked in on. That second place award goes to entry number 367. That's Radiant, and Stephanie Moganius of Knoxville is the driver. Stephanie Moganius driving Radiant, 367 from Knoxville. Stephanie, if you will, we're going out on the opposite end that you came in on, please, over on the opposite side. I'm sorry, they've got all the ribbons on the opposite side in this class only. And the third place award, third goes to number 366, Downtown Strutter. Jim Moganius of Knoxville is the whip. Exiting, if you will, on the opposite end that you came into the ring, please. for a very
Sovereign Go Boy? Think that would be right?
Sovereign Cowboy.
Eaton Sovereign Go Boy, I think. And that's Randall Phillips. And the owner is Randall Phillips of Cookville.
John Enrick on Prize Morning Star with 401 from Crossville.
And James Lawson will be riding Heaping Spoonful, also from Crossville.
Tommy Betty from Allgood will be on Little Phoebe.
And Foster Brooks on Ebony's Bay Roller of Hendersonville. That's not the Foster Brooks you're thinking about. Now, come on.
We have Neil Gibbons Sr. from Crossville on
Ebony's
Black Tide. Ebony's Black Tide.
Yeah, that looks like what it is. And James Mitchell on Chef Sunrise from Hillham.
Nelda Wright from Cookville on Nelda's Red Coin. And, you know, she showed in 2-3 classes Thursday night. Made a real good show.
William Bean on Colors Blackjack from Cookville.
Linda Miller from Cookville on Domino's Ragtime Gal.
I believe Linda also showed the
She
other
sure
night.
did.
Joe Humphrey on Mills Delight from Sparta.
And Diane Mathis of Baxter on Delightful Mac.
So, we've got a big class tonight in this particular show.
These are your walking horses that you can get out and take on a pleasure ride and go on the trail. You don't have to worry about losing those built-up pads, feet. You don't have to worry about keeping them in a tail set. They're strictly pleasure horses.
So once a horse has the pads, a walking horse has the pads, they stay on?
Well, they don't have to. In fact, when show season's not going on, say like in another month or two, a lot of these big show horses that are here, they pull the pads off of them, let their feet grow out, and then you just let them just grow all winter, and then about February, March, put the pads and the shoes back on and start all over. That would be more or less on your aged horses that need to be worked every day through the winter.
There you see William Bean on Colors Blackjack.
Might mention that a lot of the show horses that we've seen in past years, as they get a little bit older, some of the people do pull their pads off of them, put regular shoes on them, and turn them into pleasure horses. This is the same horse.
Just given a different name, huh?
That's right. Those built-up feet and pads and chains make them carry their feet just a little bit further, further out and a little showier.
Go boy Randall Phillips, owner rider Cookville. 401 is Prize Morning Star. That's John Emmerich in the saddle tonight for Bass Graham of Crossville. Number 402, he means Spoonful.
Notice a lot of the girls have got gloves on in this class tonight, as the men have hats on. Those are a couple of things that you don't see anymore, and that's because traditionally walking horses are representative of the old Southern traditions. So they try to stay as much with that as they can.
Sunrise, James Mitchell riding. Entry on for Mr. Mrs. James Mitchell of Hillham. 251 Cookville.
There's William Bean again.
144, Colors Blackjack. William Bean of Cookville riding. 14, Domino's.
There you see Neil Gibbons on Ebony's Black Tie.
88, Joe Humphrey of Sparta and saddle on Mills Delight. 152, that's Delightful Mac with Diane Mathis Baxter. Let's walk now. Awesome.
You see all the ribbons they've got in their hair tonight? That one's called Butterfly. And as they braid that ribbon, he's caught for them to canter now. As they braid the ribbons, they just butterfly those right in with it and make it look a little showier.
That's Randall Phillips of Cookville.
Again, in this class, it's just as important on the canter that they take the proper lead. We've got a couple that have a little problem with that. They may wait until they get on into the curve to ask the horse to canter. That we're seeing here tonight will be shown in Shelbyville. As a matter of fact, Shelbyville is not just the walking horse celebration, World Championship celebration. They have a lot of courtesy classes that are not a World Championship class, but they have the roadster bike, the pleasure horses, and a lot of classes that we won't even see here tonight. That show lasts 10 days. We do have some entries here that we'll be looking at later on tonight that will be in Shelbyville this coming week. So we see a few that we can recognize, we'll point them out to you.
We haven't been given that information, but we may just know of some.
Recognize them,
Right,
maybe.
recognize some of the ones that will be going to Shelbyville. So, and that lasts for 10 days. When does it start?
Started last night. It ends a week from tonight.
So you may want to go to Shelbyville sometime this week. If
I
you can get
recommend if they go before next Friday night, because your championship classes will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. And it's standing room only. Most people that get their tickets have had their tickets for a number of months. They do have a few general admission seats, but if you're going to do that, you need to be there about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
That's right.
Now you've been given some good advice on what to do when you go to Shelbyville. And you might not want to have a place to stay or a sleeping bag in your car.
I think they better take a sleeping bag. There's not many motel rooms in Shelbyville.
Right. There you see Linda Miller of Cookville on Domino's Ragtime Gal. Is that a pinto? What? The spotted bunny?
I would call that a pinto. However, in your pleasure walking horse classes, normally when you think of a pinto, you think of a quarter horse.
A western horse, right?
Yeah.
So we won't call it that. We'll call it a spotted walking horse. Right. We'll call it by its name, Domino's Ragtime Gal. And you're getting to see a good look of this large class. I think if I were going to enter a class, although that will never happen because I don't have a horse and I don't know how to ride. But
Well, we'll see if we can take care of that next year.
No. But if I were going to, I would want to enter one where I did not have to canter.
Well, then you'd need to enter a lady class or a 2 or 3 year old class, or if you could fudge a little bit, you could go in juvenile class.
No, I don't think I could fudge
Not that much.
No. Oh, the costume class, Donna said. I could get into the costume work. Yes, that's a good one for me. You know, a long time ago, when my grandfather had horses, and that was a horse, of course, that was a class that we always entered. My cousin Mark Phipps and I, we always get on one of the horses and get in the little costume class.
Oh, that's fun. I'll tell you what, next year we'll see if we can arrange to do the lead line. I'll lead and you sit on the saddle.
Okay. That sounds like a good one. And Donna will talk about it. I can see it coming. And I bet Danny Vaughn would let borrow his mule. How about that?
We'll see if we can arrange that.
Okay.
And we're looking at number 402. 4 is James Lawson from Crossville with a heaping spoonful.
See, there goes that canter again. That would make me really nervous.
You know, it's really not that hard. All they have to do, and if you'll notice, he's leaned over just a tad when he began, and each one's looking over their right shoulder to make sure they've took the right lead. All you've got to do, Becky, is just reach with your right foot up to the horse's shoulder and tap on it. These horses are very well trained that when you tap that shoulder with their foot, with your foot, and call on them to canter, they'll automatically go right on into it. Now, that takes a lot of training to reach that point. And it's much easier if you can, if you're in the curve when the call comes for the canter, or if you are just close enough to it to fudge a little bit on into the curve and then call on canter. Because when you're in the curve, the inside leg, which is, in this case, the right leg, has to go out further when it hits the ground than the other leg. So if they're in the curve, they automatically have to take the correct lead so that inside will reach out further.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So it's good to be in the curve.
All you do is just reach out with that foot and
Just
say,
tap that right shoulder.
and say canter. Now, for young kids, it gets a little confusing to them.
Sure. You'd have to make sure you knew which was your right and your left.
It's always your inside leg.
All right.
Whatever leg is the closest to the judge is the one that has to take the lead.
See, I'm learning so many things. I'm glad you're here. Someone came up to me and they said, well, I'm glad you admittedly know nothing about horses. And I said, yes, I admit it, that's true. So, but you do a terrific job, and you certainly have. I do want to ask you one question. How could you give this up if you have worked at this for so long? And you don't show anymore, do you?
I don't have time. You need to ride every day to do a good job, and I don't have the time that it takes to do that. I wish I did. I would love to get back into it, but anytime I want to ride, I can always go home. My dad rides every day, so there's no problem with that. But the thrill of showing, you never overcome.
So you still miss it, but you just don't have the time to.
No. Maybe one day.
Yeah, we'll look for you. Maybe that costume class, right? Right. Or the lead line class.
Racket horses get the call next.
So they've lined up on the north side of the grandstand, facing us. And the judge, who is Billy Renfro from Union Springs, Alabama, will be making his decision. Our Master of Ceremonies this evening, there you see our judge. Our Master of Ceremonies this evening is Drew Huffines of Cookeville. Here you see the grandstands. It's a good night tonight at the Putnam County Fair. We've got lots and lots of people here, not only in the grandstands, but lined up around the ring there. And you see, helping out the judge, our ringmaster Donald Pierce of Cookeville. Our organist this evening is Wayne Abers of Cookeville, who does a great job. On staff, I guess, just stand by, Venerian Donald Raglan of Livingston, Donald Raglan. And the farrier is Richard Curry of Cookeville. Now, that's the guy who replaces the shoes, right?
That's right. If we happen to lose any, maybe we'll be lucky tonight and not lose any. We only lost one shoe Thursday night, and it's up to the rider if he wants to take time out to get it replaced, or if he wants to just leave the ring and go on. They only have a certain period of time. I have to look it up and see, but I think they've only got 7 minutes
to do that,
to replace their shoe. And so the farrier has to be really quick and know what he's doing to get it back on. They have to, and the time, by the way, includes finding the shoe.
Oh no. Which, if it had been Thursday night, would have been a real difficult task since there was so much mud.
There's a lot of expense goes into shoeing the show horses because they have the built-up pads, and the shoes in the pads are custom made for the size of the horse's foot and for the way he walks, and there's weights put on maybe one side of the shoe rather than the other, and so they have a lot of expense in that. So when they do lose the shoe, they want to be sure to find it as quick as they can. 7 minutes will be granted to replace one shoe. Now, I have seen them lose both shoes, and so it's important that farrier, they keep up with the time. So if you lose one shoe, he can get it back on in 2 minutes. You've still got 5 minutes left. And I have seen them lose 2 shoes, and it's up to the ringmaster and the judge if they want to give you the rest of your time or not. So most of the time, if you lose that second shoe, you're gone.
You're history, huh?
You take the gate.
You take the gate. Okay, our show secretary is Jerry Cumby of Cookeville, and Jerry's done a nice job all week with the Putnam County Fair, and his wife Brenda been very helpful with Channel 22, and we appreciate that. Also, Clyde Pippin, our fair manager, has been very helpful, and we appreciate Mr. Pippin. And I believe Drew is ready, so we'll turn to him for the winners.
If you will, please, the gate will be open. Opposite into the ring for you to exit. Your first place award in the class, in this class number 5, the Plantation Pleasure Walkers. Your first place award in the class right around into number 588. That's Mills Delight and Joe Humphrey. Joe Humphrey from Sparta, riding Mills Delight, your first place in the class. Side is your park right in, please. Enter number 77, Elam Souvenir, Go Boy. Randall Phillips is the owner rider for Cookeville. Randall Phillips riding out Elam Souvenir, Go Boy to second. the class. Third place goes to entry number 35, Little Phoebe. Little Phoebe, rid of Tommy Bandy of Olga, third in the class. Fourth award goes to 402, Heaping Spoonful. James Austin is the rider, riding for Ross Stone of Crossville, Tennessee. Heaping Spoonful, 402 is fourth. And the fifth award is 401, Pride Morning Star. John Emmerich is the rider. Entry on the bench from Crossville, Tennessee. John Emmerich riding Pride Morning Star in the field. Big round of applause for all these fine riders on the Foundation Pleasure class. All entries getting a big round of applause. Thank you, riders, and class number 5.
And we'll go through the winners just again quickly for you for this particular entry class, which was Plantation Pleasure walking horses with no built feet. First place went to Joe Humphrey of Sparta, Tennessee on Mills Light. And second went to Randall Phillips on Elam Sovereign Go Boy from Cookville. Third went to Tommy Bandy of Algon on Little Phoebe. Fourth, James Lawson on Heaping Spoonful of Crossville. And fifth went to John Enrick on Pride's Morning Star of Crossville. Debbie, what's our next class?
Our next class.
Hold on, I'm off one.
Our next class is juveniles on walking horses, and they can have built-up feet or they can be flat shot, either one, which means they can have plain shoes or they can have an inch or so of pad between the shoe and their hoof. So this is a relatively fast class for juveniles because these horses move pretty fast. They're looking for them to pick their feet up and go straight out rather than a walk or trot, either one. And when they ask them to move on, they move on. They go really pretty fast. So that's unusual for them to have a juvenile ranking class. And our money tonight is quite a bit more than is normal for any show. And these classes, the first 19 have a first prize of $50. I want to mention that the Putnam County Horse Show put $3,300 in the pot tonight for prize money, and that's a big paying show. It is. And all the money came from the county.
Well, great.
Not any individual sponsored classes. I think that says a lot
For this particular show tonight?
Yes.
Well, that's terrific. All the different classes are sponsored by the county. Why don't you tell us who's on the fair board? I mean, on this particular horse show.
Okay, our chairman tonight is Roy Fox, and he has a committee with Ray Allen Phillips, Larry Ford, Heidi McWilliams, Don Pierce, the ringmaster, and Harold Robertson. A lot of people call him Jimmy. And Taylor Loftus. And most of these people have been on this committee for a number of years. So,
and that is the Open to the World Horse Show Committee?
That's right. I noticed that Heidi McWilliams has always been one of our better showmen, and she's not showing tonight that I've noticed, probably because she is on the committee. That's a hard thing to do, to give up.
It would be a hard thing
That is. Maybe we'll see her in here anyway, though, I hope.
She may be. Oh, let's hope so. We'll look for her. We have in this particular class, number 200 is Christy Hodges from Gallatin, Tennessee, on Black Imperial. Number 94 is
Renee Sprouse on Mr. Magic's Black Angel from Tompkinsville, Kentucky.
There you see number 50, Marty Giesling from Hillham on
Navajo.
Navajo. You got these Indian names on Navajo.
And we also have with us tonight Sally Gibbons on Traveling Sam. And
there you see Renee Sprouse of Tompkinsville, Kentucky on Mr. Magic Black Angel.
We also have with us tonight Neil Gibbons on Ebony's Black Tide.
Also, I guess from Cookville. I assume these are from Cookville. And Neil is on 103. So as they come around, if we can see their numbers, we'll try and place the horse.
I believe that's Neil Gibbons Jr. we're looking at right here.
So that's Marty Giesling.
Okay, sorry.
Number 50.
And these juveniles are making an excellent ranking class show.
What's the age on that?
Well, juveniles are 18 and under.
There you see Renee Sprouse from Tompkinsville, Kentucky.
These kids show against each other all summer at various shows around the state. And they look forward to seeing each other each weekend at the shows, and they become very competitive with each other.
There's Christy Hodges of Gallatin on Black Imperial.
Vicky, I'm sure you've noticed the different way that these horses handle their movement and motion from the other classes that we've looked at tonight. So each different breed of horse has a different way of going.
Now, I would think that the people up on the ring, I would think would bother the horse, but does it not? Do they just get so used to it?
Well, one thing that I'm sure a lot of these juveniles have done is they know where their trainer is. And so when they ask for a reverse, they try to make it wherever the trainer's standing on the side of the ring. And that little girl looked like she was getting a little bit of advice. It's a smart move.
That is a smart move.
And give your horse a break, because they could just turn and go the other way, but the judge allows that. For them to get a little bit of advice and take a minute's break and then go ahead and take the reverse. When they call for a reverse, you are allowed that time to stop. You turn around and you begin in a flat foot walk again, or a slow walk, whichever you happen to be riding, whatever that class calls for. Your slowest gait.
I believe that is Neil Givens Jr. on his black tie.
We've seen him in a couple of other classes tonight. He's going to be worn out.
He has been in several already, so he probably will get pretty tired before the night's out.
Well, that's what the county fair is all about.
There you see Christy Hodges on Black Imperial.
Well, Becky, have you got a winner picked out yet?
Oh, it's hard to decide, but I think I might have to go with Renee Sprouse from Tompkinsville. That would just be my unexpert guess.
You didn't do that because it was a woman now, did you?
Well, no. No, there you see Renee right now. She's got a showy horse.
Well, her horse is just a verge of being a walking horse, you know.
Is that maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm picking out a walking horse.
Well, when you have a walking horse, as you start training them from the yearling stage and 2-year-old stage, ranking is what they do. And you take them from that and you train them on into their gait. So that's not unusual at all.
Well, I'm just totally sitting here as a spectator.
No, you're doing good. Next year you're going to be able to do this without me.
No, absolutely not. So you're signed up for life, you know. And you see there Christy Hodges, Marty Giesling, number 50. And they're all lined up there side by side perfectly. I see 4 horses, although I had been given 5 entries. But I guess we do not have Sally Givens. I don't see that number anywhere. There are 4 horses in this particular class. Class number 6, which is the juveniles on racking horses. Order is Christy Hodges, Renee Sprouse, Neil Givens, and Marty Giesling. Well, if you pick that favorite,
well, that's what I was looking at. I think I'm going to go with number 200, Christy Hodges.
She's in the light blue jacket. There she is, right there. So, and they are lined up on the south side of the grandstand.
I have a bad tendency to pick one out and watch it all the way through the class and then not see the others, and sometimes you miss a good horse bet.
Well, I think they've all done a nice job. We've seen a really good show in this particular category.
Certainly have. You'll notice how that most of these have stretched way out. That's part of the confirmation, because they're judged on the parking. What they're doing now is what you call parking ability, as well as anything else that they do. And 25% of this class is judged on what the judge sees as he walks by them.
And there you see our judge, Billy Renfro, along with the ringmaster, who is Donald Pierce of Cookville.
The little boy on the end in the green jacket really is doing a good job. That's really how they're supposed to be parked out.
That's Neil Givens Jr. on Ebony's Black Tie. What really stood out then,
That's right.
And I believe our ringmaster is going to pass on the invitation to Drew Huffines, our master of ceremonies. You see Drew there.
Wins $50 savings fund from.
Certainly is great having that camera over on the other side. Richard Castle doing a terrific job, and our other camera people doing a great job. Right now we have Steve Boots on a camera, and
Off the entry, number 200, Christy Hodges of Black Imperial. Christy Hodges of the Black Imperial, entry on the St. Gregory Gallatin. Black Imperial is first. All other awards will be presented on the same side of the ring as your buck riders. Second place award to number 94, Renee Strauss of Mr. Magic's Black Angel. Mr. Magic's Black Angel, Renee Strauss in the irons for Charles Gerald Timber Company, Tompkinsville, Kentucky. Third award, third entry, number 50, Navajo. Marty Giesling of Hillhound is the owner and rider. Navajo with Marty Giesling up as third. Fourth award to 103, Ebony's Black Tide. That's Neil Givens Jr., the owner rider on Ebony's Black Tide, fourth in this class. Round of applause for all of these entries, if you will, please.
Okay, thank you, Drew Huffines. That was a good class. We had Christy Hodges, the first place winner on Black's Imperial. And in second place, we had Renee Sprouse on Mr. Magic's Black Angel. And Marty Giesling from Hillhounds took third on Navajo, while Neil Givens Jr. took fourth on Ebony's Black Tide. So that was a great class.
That was a good class, and Debbie, you did pick the first place winners. You did.
But you
did
had
good.
a second place. We're doing better.
Yeah, but tell them what you just told me.
Well,
Tell them what you just told me.
I said, I believe it. I don't want you to buy any horses for me just yet.
You said I was doing better.
You're doing a lot better.
Maybe
Maybe next year I'll let you go out and buy me a horse or two.
Okay. And there you see our first place winner, Christy Hodges.
The next class number 7, Road Horses to Fight. And you're coming to the ring next. We're looking for 1 entry. Please judge the class.
And we're ready for class number 7, which is the Road Horse to Bite. This isn't a pony.
Okay, that's my second favorite class.
And we only have 1 entry, which is Bobby Holder of Maryville on High Lady. And he's going to do full show, even though he's the only entry.
And I think that's marvelous. And I think it's good of the Putnam County Fair Committee to not cancel this class out, since he has come all the way from Maryville. This has always been one show that these Roadster horses have looked forward to coming to, because there are fewer shows in Middle Tennessee for them now.
Now, will he have to go through all the different gates, just like?
The judge will probably call on him to go in each gate once around the ring. So we'll probably see him not, but maybe 6 rounds tonight, and then it'll go on. But not only do they have to travel a great deal of miles to get here, but you look at all this harness work and how polished it is, and the hours. It takes them a full day to prepare for showing in this class. So a lot of hard work just for about 10 or 15 minutes to show.
And they moved into the road gate. I picked that up from Drew.
All right. And that road gate, see how swift the feet are moving and how smooth that ride is.
Have you ever tried to do that?
Never have. We had a sulky and a road horse, but you have to have a good place to work. And it's a lot of trouble to load up and come out here to the fairgrounds. It's the only place
That you do that.
at that time that you had to work a road horse. And that's one reason that not too many people have these anymore, because you have to have a full facility for it. You notice when he turns around, Becky, he has to take a great deal of room to make that turn. You've got several horses in this particular class He can really get handsy when they ask for the reverse.
I bet, because he has really just cut all the way across in the middle of the green and come back.
And yes.
Well, those poles there don't look real flexible. I don't guess you could turn them very easily.
Not very well. You'll notice he's got his stable colors on tonight. And if we had more entries, you would see the same that they always have their stable colors.
That's Bobby Holder of Maryville. He is the owner of Hiley, which is road horse to buy.
Bobby certainly deserves a hand for supporting the Putnam County Fair and Horse Show because he's been here for a number of years, and he was in pony class for earlier, and he won, which made his 15th year to win on that same pony.
Which is commendable that he's been coming that many times.
Right.
And doing a good job. He's with Holder in high school stables in Maryville.
That's right.
All right, help me make a little noise now. Let's get him up into the high gear, and we're going.
Now they're moving up, aren't they?
And ask for the
High gear. He's after the high gear.
You'll notice the crowd picks up, the music picks up, everything picks up when they ask for him to go at road speed.
And we're going to turn it over and listen to the organ playing of Wayne Neighbors. Is he doing a great job? And just watch this pony or horse run.
When I see these, I always feel like I'm at the races, especially with all the colors.
And he's getting a nice response from the north side of the grandstand. And I'm sure he's getting one from the south side, too.
Now let's jog. Jog, please. All right, lineup time. Coming on the track, north side of the ring this time. The roses and the road ponies have a little bit of a disadvantage out in a place where they're crowded like we are outside the show ring. They love to get warmed up a lot up there and get them ready before they come to the ring, but the crowded space, like we have out in the back of the grandstand, it's a little bit tough to get them warmed up and ready to go. And that's the reason you give them a little extra time when they get to the ring.
Going to take a
Kind
look
of get
and
them
make a
loose
quick
and
decision, I would
moving.
say.
Very quick.
And we understand that there's still a little traffic jam getting into the fairground.
That's right, for those of you who are listening and not in line.
And not in line, guess what? There's a line to get in.
I just drove this still back to the courthouse.
I don't know. My husband, Peter, just came and he said that it had taken him 45 minutes.
He obviously wasn't watching.
He was not watching us, no. So, but don't let that discourage you. We still want you to come down. Probably now you can come and there'll be no line. So that's not true, Don says. There will be a line, but come anyway.
So last night at the Putnam County Fair, you're going to have 365 more days before you can come back.
Right. So you ought to come down and get that cotton candy and candy apple and all that other good stuff. There's Bobby Holder.
Will be presented to entry number 105, Higher Lady. Bobby Holder is a whip. He's from Maryville, Tennessee. He's also the owner. He's been coming down here to Putnam County the fair for a number.
You know, they don't call him the rider, they call him the whip.
That's true. And I had not noticed that until you just mentioned that, but I've been saying it wrong. Now remember.
Well, only in this class. Road classes.
And taking first place is Bobby Holder on High Lady from Maryville. And since he was the only person in that class,
All right, thank
But
you.
he certainly deserves to be here. It takes a lot of courage to get out there and be the only one.
I'm sure everybody has a chance to look at you real close then. But
You know, I mentioned this the other night that we'd go to horse shows all across the state and we'd come back and people would always ask you, well, what did you get at the horse show? And you tell them, oh, I got first, and you were doing great until they asked you, well, how many were in the class?
you didn't want to say.
No, you didn't. No, there were a few.
There, one or two anyway. Okay, we're coming up on
Juveniles, 17 and under on walking horses. So this should be a real good class because we're going to be looking at the show horses in this class, not just pleasure. They are allowed to have the built-up feet, the cut tails that are set, and chains on their feet. So we should be seeing a good variety of good dressed-up horses.
The works.
That's right.
We'll get the works with this class. Okay, you're seeing it live from the Putnam County Fair, Channel 22's coverage. And Deb, we were trying to think the other night how many years we've been covering the Putnam County Horse Show live and the Open to the World Horse Show, and you've been with us 3 years.
3
right?
years.
So live, I believe we have covered it 3 years, and the one before that, we covered it on tape and ran parts of it. So.
But see, it's a pleasure, and you would be surprised at how many people comment that they've seen the show, and through the winter, it surprises me. Oh, I saw you last night on TV.
That's right, because this will come to you again this winter on a special series called Highlights of the Putnam County Fair.
Every Monday night at 7 o'clock.
Whenever Donna decides to run. It has traditionally been then, so it probably will end. But it is a very popular show, and we'll show all the different things that we've been taping throughout the week. And we're on class number 8. That's class number 8.
We're looking at number 855, Shaker's Glory with Missy Phillips up. And he's owned by Phillips Shoe Store in Monterey.
Oh, that's right.
All right, 7 out there, we're going to running walk now. Show the running walk.
And they've moved into running walk.
That's Eric Swofford riding. We're going John Swofford from Pikeville, Tennessee. Number 101, Little Doctor. Craig Place is smart as the honor rider. 23, Replica's Duplicator. Chad Poland.
That's Eric Swofford with Ebenezer H. His father was the judge Thursday night.
Oh, and he's from Pikeville.
That's right.
And 251, Sundust Royal Club.
And the other folks in this particular category are Greg Craven, Sparta on Little Doctor, Chad Poland on Replicas Duplicatory. Replicas Duplicatory.
He's from Wasco, Kentucky.
A lot of Kentucky folks down here.
Lots of them.
Misty Phillips, as you mentioned, on Shaker's Glory from Phillips Shoes in Monterey. And me right on Sundust Royal Flush, Cookville.
We have a good class tonight.
Sure do.
Back on the rail now.
The Cookville Horse Show on Saturday night is always well represented by people from East Tennessee and Kentucky as well. I think the fair or horse show committee must do a lot of promotion for our weekend show. And of course, these people are en route to Shelbyville. A lot of them.
As you mentioned, we have had a really good show from all different seasons this season, and that's fun. Makes a good show. Lots of folks here tonight at the Putnam County Fair for the very last evening, and the midway going, and the horse show is going, and everybody seems to be having a good time.
This show tonight is a sanctioned show, sanctioned by the Walking Horse Breeders Association. And it is federal law that each one of these horses, before they come into the ring tonight, after they're ready to come out of the stable and they're ready to come in to be shown, must go through a federal steward station for inspection to make sure that their feet are sound, meaning that they've not been sore, they don't have any scars now. Used to, they just looked at them and see if they were sore, but this law has been in effect long enough now, they're looking for scars as well. If there's any evidence of anything like that, they're prosecuting these people now, so we're having a much cleaner horse show, and we're seeing a lot more involvement now from people. It scared a lot of people off from it for a long time because it became a nasty thing to be involved with.
Right. It had a bad name for a while.
It did, but now the Humane Society and the FDA has really helped clean this up a lot, and we're seeing a lot of people get back and involved in it again. We've gone in the canter now, and this young man's taken a very good lead in the canter. That's what President Kennedy used to call the rocking chair class.
The rocking horse.
Rocking horse, you're right. Not rocking chair, rocking horse.
Rocking horse.
That was one of his favorite gaits, incidentally. The rocking horse.
Well, this certainly is synonymous with Tennessee, so if anybody enjoys being in Tennessee, they gotta enjoy walking horses.
And we're looking at Greg Craven.
from Sparta on Little Doctor.
And they've asked for a reverse. I have.
Yes, and there you see Mickey Wright on Sundust Royal Flush. Cookville Mickey showed quite a bit the other night at the Putnam Honey Horse Show.
Yes, he did. You'll notice these kids are really doing an excellent job tonight. They're keeping themselves well spaced out from each other. That's unusual for kids. Adults don't really do that well. It is a trait of better showmanship for them to keep themselves spaced out and as close to the rail as possible. And this is something the judge is going to look at, as well as the horse. All these things come together count.
They really are doing a nice job, and they're dressed very well, and they look really sharp. Good show in this class. There you see Misty Phillips of Monterey on Shaker's Glory.
Takes a look to see if the judge is watching her.
Don't blame her.
Well, if he's not, she
can
a
ease up
good
with
rider.
that.
That's right, she knows. And one thing that really helps give these kids some enthusiasm about showing is as they approach the judge for you to clap for them. A lot of people clap when you get in front of them, and the trick is to clap as you're in front of the judge.
Oh, that's a clue. Now, see, I never knew that. I always clapped when they got in front of me.
Oh, no. That way, when the horse is right there in front of the judge, he knows the crowd's with him.
I wonder how many years I blew it for you, Dee. I was clapping for you, and you were in front of me.
But it's a real thrill.
Hey, we've got a treat coming up here in a minute. We're going to get to see something.
Now walking.
See Mickey right there. This is the juvenile class, 17 and under on walking horses. Let you know who's in this class again quickly. Eric Swafford on Ebony's Dust Age, Pikeville. Greg Cravens from Sparta on Little Doctor. Chad Poland from Glasgow, Kentucky on Replicas Duplicatory. Missy Phillips from Monterey on Shaker's Glory. And Mickey Wright from Cookville on Sun's Royal Flush. Good class and a lot of good showing here by these young folks.
Okay, and the judge has asked for him to pull in and come in so he can take a better look at them.
Needles and Nails has been one of the that has been located here at the fair this week for your pleasure, and they've had their drawings. And
I'm sure these kids are glad that class is over with so they can
rest a little bit, huh?
That's right. You gave them a good workout for there to only be, what, 4 entries in that class?
That's from Needles and Nails.
There's 5, and you really did give them a good workout. Let them go quite a while. And they've lined up on the side of the grandstand.
I guess one of the most exciting
so we get to
places
see this
around
stuff.
is the hospital where it's birth time for the grandchild or for the child. Well, I heard a story I wanted to relate here while we're tying this class
I'm
of
sorry, I
4
said that.
prospective fathers. They were pacing the waiting room outside the maternity room in the hospital.
And you see the judge and our ringmaster.
That he had a new son. The man said, well, that's the way it
stepping
should
back
be
to
because
take
my wife is
make a
number
decision.
1. A few minutes.
I guess he already pretty much knows at that point, but
one or the other. Men, she
jotting
says,
down the numbers.
your
and the
wife
names.
has told
Make sure he's got the right number for what position, I guess.
It should have been because
And he
I
turned the
picked
information over
for
to the
Minnesota
ringmaster, and the
Twins.
ringmaster's taken up
Later,
there to
another
Drew
nurse runs
Huffine.
out.
You know,
She grabs
sometimes,
one of
Becky,
the
they'll
others.
have a
She
decision
says, "Sir,
made.
you're gonna be
And because
excited
that
because you
confirmation does
just
count
given
for
birth to
25%, he'll change his mind. And he might swap first and second round after taking a closer look at them.
So it's important when you're playing that you do a good job.
That's right.
He said, I ain't saying no longer. I work for 7-Up.
And
All right.
Drew Huffine's telling another joke. Unfortunately, we missed most of it. Maybe we'll get one of his tonight.
Of course, all of you heard about the excitement out here on Monday at the fair. The kid that's won the dime, the quarter, and nickel. Yesterday morning, the doctor asked Mama how everything's coming along. She said, well, there ain't no change yet.
Heard one. We heard one. Okay. We're going to go now to Drew Huffine's for the winners of the
Number
class.
8, the juvenile 17 and under fledged out style wrecking horses. You be ready. You're coming to the ring next. Class number 8. Riding to the opposite side of the ring, your first place winner is entry number 111, Eric Swafford of Ebony, Dutch 8. Eric from Pikeville, the entry on John W. Swafford. Ebony's Dutch 8, 111 is first in the class. All of their awards will be presented on the same side you are. In the second place award goes to entry number 101, Little Doctor. That's Greg Craven. Greg is from Sparta. Third place goes to 251, Sundust Royal Fashion. That's Mickey Wright of Cookville. Sundust Royal 8 Flush. Mickey Wright of Cookville rides to third. Fourth award goes to number 855, Shakes Glory, and Misty Phillips is riding, entry owned by Phillips Shoes Murray. Fourth award to 855, Shaker's Glory, and Misty Phillips riding. Here, let's give all of these riders a big round of applause for class number 8, juvenile 17 and under on Walking Horses.
So I guess we'll continue to do that.
Okay, and I guess we're going to let the folks out in the grandstand know here in just a moment, and we'll be letting you know who the winners are of the presents we're giving away from the fair this year.
Right. I'm looking forward to getting my Sesame Street lunchbox.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're looking at the flat shot style racking class.
And there are quite a few entries in this class, as you can well see. And we have some young riders here, too. Well, Peter didn't guess too well on that money house either.
Well, but he knew there was
He
not
knew there was not a $200. I said, look, there's a $100 bill in there. And then he goes, yeah, but look at the $200 bill on there. So, but that's a fun thing to do, Debbie.
It is fun. Really, the fun is making the house.
I bet. You help do that?
Oh, yeah. And then I put all the money on myself, and Neil double checks it. And he always makes me give him a sealed envelope and the fair manager a sealed envelope before we even bring it down here.
That's a great idea.
So he keeps us straight. When you've got the world what is he, the world champion power lifter?
I think nobody messes around.
No.
Okay, so you can look forward to that again next year, folks, if you miss out like I did. Then I'm going to think you're more generous next year, so I'll get higher than $40.
You know, the guesses, people finally started figuring out that I was the one that put the money on there, so I started guessing a lower amount. Okay.
In this class, we have
Jane Spears from Monterey on Becky Stricker. We have Quinlan Guffey from Monterey on Sports Clown Image. Gary Bowman from Monterey on Sandy's Ebony Fancy.
and Wayne Brunner from Hartsville on Pride of Me.
Matt Crawford from Pikeville on Chaz Rebel.
Kevy Rich on Flashy Girl, there you go. From Tompkinsville, I believe.
Also from Tompkinsville, we have Joe Phillips with Page's Bay 80.
We have Dwight Crowder from Lafayette on Big Time Delight.
Greg Garrison from here in Cookville on Contenders by Power.
Sally Givens from Crossville on Ebony's Black Eye.
We've seen that one before.
Yes, and I didn't give Neil, I said it was from Cookville in that last class, and he was actually from Crossville. Also, Barbara Morley.
And she showed Thursday night on Mercy and did quite well, I remember.
And she's showing Mercy tonight. She's from Cookville. We also have Cliff Taylor on Duke from Cookville, I believe.
So we have a full class tonight.
It is a big class.
Yeah, these horses that we're seeing, we also saw in the juvenile on ranking horse class earlier. And that's the good thing about these horses. Once they get them cleaned up and to show, they can bring them in 3 classes. Makes it worth your while to come all the way from Maryville or Knoxville or even Tompkinsville.
We've got a lot of Kentucky folks here tonight, so.
And he's asked them to slow down, back down to a walk.
And 164 is Mercy. Barbara Morley of Cookville is the rider. 12 entries. And that's the first shot recognized. This one is being...
Well, we can't see her, but we have a real young rider in this class.
She's in the walk, and we're going across to the north side of the ring this time. And lining up. Watch the ringmaster. The north side of the ring and line up.
Sally Gibbons from Crossville.
And the judges asked them to come in and line up, and they're going to line up on our side this time.
There's the young one, Sally from Crossville, doing a nice job. That's a good-sized horse.
That is a good-sized horse for a little girl.
That's Ebony's Black Tie.
Her feet don't even go past the saddle. And it takes a lot of control for somebody that young to be able to ride, because when they go in the ring, they want to turn around and look at the crowd. They want to look and see if mommy or daddy's watching them. And it takes a lot of concentration to keep a horse that size under control. And she's really done quite well, as most of these kids have.
Our riders, they're facing us because they're on our side of the line.
That's a pretty shot.
That is a pretty shot.
Look at these ribbons with the gold and black satin.
A lot of work goes into that, doesn't it?
Got a star.
Is that what you caught in the middle there?
Yeah,
a star in his forehead.
Look how shiny those hooves are. We're going to have a workout tonight.
164.
Means the judge wasn't able to make a decision, and so he's asked 3 horses to come in and park. That could be our first, second, and third winners we're looking at.
Got to give us a little bit of space between the entries so we can get a good look at it now, because you're being judged.
And the judges ask them to space themselves out well so they can take a better look at them.
And our rider did a smart thing and waited until most of them passed her so she could
sure did.
Take some time there and get in line.
We'll go back to what I originally said. Take the rail like you were going. Is that right?
And they're sort of confused as to which direction to go at the moment.
The ringmaster's job is really hard, and the judge is doing the calls right now instead of letting the ringmaster. You'll notice they've got hand signals that they use from the ringmaster back to the master of ceremonies. When that ringmaster, who's out there in white, Donald Pierce tonight, puts his hand out to his side and he lifts his hand flat, then he's asking for a flat foot walk. If he takes his hand and cups it and starts doing it in a mountain motion, it's asking for a canter. And when he wants to go on in the running walk or to move on, he'll just do as you would if you were telling somebody to move on. You could. Some of these riders that go from week to week, from show to show, instead of listening for the signal, they'll watch for the ringmaster to give that signal so they can get prepared to go right into that gate as they call on it. And they're going in a slow rack, which is a pretty swift speed
And this is class number 9, flat shot style racking.
They're not really going for speed in this class as much as they are going for style. So it's important to them for the judge to see how well groomed they are, how they're handling their feet movement as well.
Now these are pleasure horses, right?
Well, they normally have always been pleasure horses, but we're seeing these more and more included in the horse shows now. This is the racking breed is a breed that's just been formed in the last 4 or 5 years, and it's becoming more and more popular. There's not as much work that has to go into these horses. They don't have to have the cut tails, and they don't have to have the built-up feet. And there's a lot of things they don't have to have. And the judges ask for them to move on.
Here you see Max Swafford of Pikeville on Chad's Rebel.
The Swafford family certainly has been supportive of our show.
We've had a lot of entries.
And we're looking at Gary Bowman on Brandy's Ebony Fancy from Monterey.
Down the carnival end of the ring. What's the ringmaster? He's going to line you up.
And the judges asked for him to come in and line up. So he's ready to make his final decision.
Line up facing the rail. Face the carnival. All right, now those that have parked in. Those of you that have parked in, you're going to take the rail to your left.
Now this must be our first, second, and third place winners. And so he's going to give them a final workout and decide exactly how to place them.
And your final showing is last.
So this should be a really good portion of this class. And they'll again start at the rail on their slowest speed, and he'll move them up as this part of the class progresses into a faster speed.
Now, so he's pulled some more off, and now he's still
Okay,
working?
while you were gone, he pulls these in. He's through with them, and I'm assuming that this is our first, second, and third place winners that's in a final workout. Makes a much more interesting show to have workout. In fact, we may hear them later on tonight yell, workout, because it's just a lot more fun. It makes it a little more competitive. And they're staying right there together.
Going in the slow rack now. Showing in the slow rack.
And he's called for a slow rack.
Yes, that's a little bit faster than what they were doing.
Right.
Their slow rack is a little fast for me.
Doing a nice job.
Racking horses predominantly are fast-moving horses. And this class, racking horses, really when you judge them, you're judging them in speed. But this class is a style class, and that's what they're looking for here is for performance.
Now, do they ride on the English style?
They ride on the English saddle, and they ride in the walking horse attire.
Person going in the show walk.
Because again, racking it is the gait that most walking horses do as you train them to get in or pace.
Have you ever been to the steeplechase in Nashville?
I have, not in a while, but that's a lot of fun.
That is a lot of fun. I don't know if our viewers are familiar with that, but it, I guess, is English-style riding and,
Yes.
and jumping, and it's really an interesting event, and they hold it each
And it's a
May,
fun
I
day.
believe.
If you don't go, you should go.
You should, that's right. It's and it benefits the Children's Hospital, I believe, at Vanderbilt. And it's just a really enjoyable day to go and spend, and that's usually in May, the steeplechase in Nashville. So if you're interested in horses and you haven't been to that, you should take
I've
off.
not been in quite some time, but used to you could take a picnic basket and your blanket.
Park on the hill.
That's right.
You still can. I believe they have it at Percy Warner Park. Now, I'm not really sure of that, but there is a part where you pay a slight admission, or there are still places on the hill where you don't have to pay any admission, and you can.
But again,
park
that
your
money
blanket.
goes to the
The Children's Hospital. That's right, at Vanderbilt. And it's a good cause. It really is a fun. I mean, there are some people there that bring grills and they grill out. And they bring blankets, and it's just a.
I haven't been in a long time, but I know that used to be the highlight of spring. You felt like that was spring kickoff to go to the steeplechase.
You really, and there are a lot of folks, of course, I guess Nashville society more or less also, that have box seats and come in beautiful, beautiful dresses and hats. And
Well, see, I didn't realize that, and I had some friends that asked me to go with them one time. That was the last time I went. I went dressed to go on the hill.
That's okay.
Trying to bring them back in now.
Did they dress to go in the box?
Right.
Oh, no.
And they did.
Well, that would make it a problem. And they've asked them to line up on the north side of the grandstand, the three that were working out just then.
And again, I venture to say that's our first, second, and third place winners. Did you pick one out, Becky?
No, I really didn't.
Well, I did, but I'm not sure which one it was. He had, now our cameraman has.
Oh,
one
he
of those.
picked one of the three. Well, wow. I really was not watching. I was trying to look at the names a lot more during this class, but it's hard to pick out a favorite because there are so many good showing. And actually, I was afraid it would say I couldn't buy your horses again, so I didn't want to venture a guess.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Becky, you're getting really good at this. I think I need to take you with me as soon as I get Keith talking to getting one. He's still a little horse shy.
His horse, well, get Keith to get a horse, and you take me out and train me a little bit.
That's what you and he can do. You and Keith can go out and pick a horse out for me. Now, I would trust you much more than I would Keith to go pick a horse out for me. And isn't she cute?
She is cute. One of our young fair pageant winners.
That Asia,
I don't think that's Asia. I'm not. I believe that. I don't know which pageant winner that is.
And the lucky winner is, or the skillful winner, whichever. The skillful winner is Sue Davis, route to Cookville. Sue Davis, route to Cookville, gets $131.79.
And while making their decisions, I don't. Where's the judge? The judge is up on the stand, so does that mean
he's maybe tallying up his scores and deciding exactly what order that he wants to give these awards out in?
We're going to let you know again who's in this class quickly. Cliff Taylor riding Luke from Cookville, or maybe from Monterey. I'm not sure where Cliff is from, but
John Spears from Monterey on Becky's Streaker.
Quentin Guffey of Monterey on Sports Glowing Image.
Gary from Monterey on Bandy's Ebony Fancy.
Wayne Bronner, I believe, from Hartsville on Pride of Dean.
Max Swafford from Pikeville, Chad's Rebel.
Carrie Ridge from Tompkinsville, Kentucky on Flashy Girl.
And also from Tompkinsville, we have Joe Phillips from Page Stables on Page's Bay Lady.
Dwight Crowder from Lafayette on Big Time Delight.
We have Greg Garrison from Cookville on Contenders Bay Power.
Sally Givens from Crossville on Ebony's Black Tide.
And again, we have Barbara Morley from Cookville on Mercy.
So those are the folks that are.
And we'll find out who the lucky winner
We're going to listen to a winner of one of the quilts.
Winner is Vivian Freeman, and she is from Lebanon, Tennessee. 116 Backerwood Drive, Lebanon, Tennessee. Vivian Freeman. She wins the duck quilt, courtesy of Cindy's Country Charms.
We have a lot of prizes.
We really do have a lot of prizes, and if anybody who comes to the fair, I think that's one of the first things they do is come through the north side of the grandstand or wherever the booths happen to be, where they can give the or sign up for the different things that we have available. And we've got somebody special with us who's going to tell us as soon as this class is over a winner.
Ready to present the awards now in this class, and we'll ask the winning entry to ride around on the opposite side that you are parked in this class number 9, the flat shot style backing class, class number 9. And your first place award in the class goes to entry number 156, Big Time Delight, White Crowder riding. White Crowder's from Lafayette, Tennessee. The entry on Bernice Andrews. Big Time Delight 156 is first. Coming around for the blue ribbon and the trophy. Remember, all entries now, you'll be exiting on the opposite end that you enter the ring. Second place, you'll get your award on the same side of the ring. You're parked. 164 is second. Barbara Morley of Cookville riding Mercy. Mercy, Barbara Morley riding 164 in a second. Third award goes to entry number 32, Becky Streaker. James Pierce is the honor rider from Monterey. Becky Streaker is third. And the fourth award, goes to 141, Chad's Rebel. Max Wofford of Pikeville rides to fourth on Chad's Rebel 141. Fifth place in the class fifth goes to 153. That's 153 Sports Glow and Image. Brendan Guffey of Monterey rides the fifth place award. Thank you, riders. Let's exit on the opposite end of the ring, please, from where you entered. That's class number 9, the flat shot style wrecking class.
Okay, and we have had an extremely good class with our fifth place winner being Quinlan Guffey from Monterey on Sports Clown Image. We've got a full class. We've got 16 entries in this class.
And this is the amateur specialty class, not required to canter.
That's our class.
How about that?
That's for us.
Yep.
Okay. These are your show walking horses, Becky, and I'm certain that we'll see, if we haven't already seen these horses in other classes, say, for instance, the juveniles on walking horses, then we'll be seeing them come back again, perhaps for the state class. That's the good thing about this class.
And I believe we see Kathy Wallace in this class, who we talked to earlier.
And I think Brenda Turnage was going to be in this class.
I think she's going to be in class 12. What class are we up to?
You're right. I keep looking for Brenda.
She's going to be in class 12.
Okay.
We're in class 10.
But I do see Kathy.
Yes, Kathy Wallace is on another pretty color horse. What color do you call that? Brown?
A bay.
A bay, huh?
A bay. I believe.
There's Kathy Wallace of Cookville.
Okay. Now she's on a pretty bay. A bay is black. No, let's see. Now Kathy's on a bay. Bay is what you've got when you've got a brown or a sorrel-colored horse with a black mane and tail. Reverse Palomino. Okay.
Let's see who all's in this class.
All right. We have Richard Mason from Addisonville, Tennessee, number 140 on Miss Autumn.
And Elvin Bryant on the Lights Red Demon from Knoxville.
We have Carl Hollingsworth from Sparta on Delight's Mark Allen, and we saw him earlier.
Kathy Wallace, we mentioned before, on Dark Sun Flash from Cookville.
Leland Spriggs from Crossville on Countdown's Rebel.
Preston Sweeney from Murfreesboro on Front Row Seat.
Julie Connor from Allard, Tennessee on Mr. Slick Black.
And David Jones from Jamestown on Ladd's Cracker Jack.
Todd Burnett from Deer Lodge, Tennessee on Go Boys Rebel.
And Johnny Bullitt from Deer Lodge possibly on Blair's Miss Motion.
And from Lebanon, we have Larry Hawker on Senator's Last Chance.
And Kathy Webb on Touch of Masterpiece from Maryville.
Brenda Givens up on Ebony's Black Tide from Crossville.
And Neil Givens from Crossville on Tony. And we've seen them both show, I believe.
You know, it'd be interesting to go back and look and see how many horses the Givens family has brought.
There have been quite a few.
We have Hanky Panky, ridden by Sherry Maybe from Cookville. That's Wes Robertson's horse.
And he mentioned he was on earlier because he was one of the 4-H state winners from the Horse Project, and he had mentioned that she's going to be riding his horse.
I want to mention that if Mr. Fred Robertson is at home watching the show tonight, that we miss you, wish you were here. And I believe that's his grandson.
That's right. Wes is his grandson, so that's his horse. That is it Sheila or
Sherry?
Sherry, maybe.
We hope you're enjoying the show tonight. And we've got a fine-looking horse going right in front of it, ridden by Kathy?
No, I'm not sure who that is.
That's a good horse.
Pretty horse.
This is going to be a tough class, and I'll be surprised if we don't have a workout.
It's a big class and a lot of good showing horses. We'll see if we can get that number. That blue ribbon looks pretty in there, doesn't it?
Sure does.
175. That's Kathy Webb Maryville.
She came a long way. Of course, the blue may be her lucky number because, of course, she wants to leave with that blue ribbon.
That's right.
And we're looking at Carl Hollingsworth from Sparta on Delight's Mark Allen. And again, this is the amateur specialty class. These horses are not required to canter. So if you notice, they came in on a flat foot walk, went into the running walk, went back into flat foot, and they're on the reverse now. So the class is half over with unless we have a workout. Number 45 we're looking at is
145?
145. It's Preston Sweeney from Murfreesboro on front row seat. What did you
And let's see. It's number 415.
Number 415.
That is Sherry Maybe on Hanky Panky. That's Wes Robertson's horse. In the red jacket you saw, Sherry.
Ask him to go in the running walk now, showing in the running walk.
And he's called for a running walk. So they're going to move on. This is the class that separates the gals from the guys.
This is a biggie, huh? Here you see Kathy Watts from Cookville.
Look how that one's shaking his head. Every step they make, that head just, it's like it's tied to their feet. See how it bobs up and down?
Now, they trained to do that?
No, that's natural. That's part of a true walking horse.
When the rider is riding, are they supposed to bounce like that? No.
No, walking horse, you want that. There's Kathy Owen.
Right.
Kathy Wallace.
Kathy Owen Wallace, that's right.
You want that smooth ride. That's what a walking horse is all about. That you don't have any jostling. They're supposed to be the most comfortable riding horse that you can be on.
Oh.
And so they're going to line up, and he may not also work out.
He may have been able to make his decision from seeing this. They're lining up on the south side of the grandstand. And thanks to Richard Castle, who's over there on that camera, we're getting some good shots. Richard's normally been announcing with us and doing a good job, and you know, he has shown a lot of horses. I'm not sure, he grew up in Illinois, and I'm not sure the kind of horses Richard showed, but he's won a ribbon and trophy for it.
I think that Richard showed gaited horses predominantly, and that's something I'm sure he misses in this area because we just don't see too many gaited horses here
What does
anymore.
that mean, gaited horses?
They trot, and you have 3 gaited and 5 gaited horses, and they are really pretty.
And the winner is
They have more of an English look to them because the riding attire is more of an English look, and the women wear the brown derby hat.
Oh.
And you can go by and pick up your winnings from Middle Tennessee Landscaping Monday if you like. Thank
The
you.
judge is taking his walk and looking them over pretty quick. He's not wasting any time
No,
tonight.
he certainly isn't. Our judge is Billy Renfro from Union Springs, Alabama. He's a horse trainer there, and he has just in Shelbyville.
That's quite an honor, too, to be invited to judge in Shelbyville.
And it's an honor for us to have him here. And you see along with him the ringmaster, who is Donald Pierce of Cookeville. Our master of ceremonies again is Drew Huffines, and the organist is Wayne Neppers.
Thank goodness our farrier hasn't had work.
That's right. Richard Berry of Cookeville is on deck in case he needs to pop out here and replace a shoe, I guess, or put it back on, but that hasn't happened. And our veterinarian is Donald Ragland from Livingston. And what does the veterinarian do?
He is here to assist. Well, let me take a look at that.
Take a look at that.
Take a look at that. Our veterinarian.
Oh, there's our chief engineer's wife, Phyllis Vogt, and children waving.
Asking these runners, if we will please pull in down to your right, please, on the carnival end of the ring, please, number 87, you're pulling in.
Phyllis Vogt, our chief engineer is Art Vogt.
175, 160.
He's in the van, Phil said. He's working.
36. Pulling in on the end of the ring, down on the carnival end of the ring, if you will, please.
Our veterinarian is the steward that
he's
checks
the
them out.
steward. Okay.
I'm sorry.
61, 102, and 36.
Now, they are going to have a walkout, aren't they, Debbie?
I would have been surprised had he not. This is a hard class to judge. So
he has pulled some over on the end.
All right, everybody, and everybody's pulled in.
The mule race is next. No saddles.
And you're going in a
So anybody's waiting for that, it's coming up. And we'll take a look at these working out now. The judge has got a difficult decision to make, as this is a huge class.
okay, and we're looking at number 415, who is Sherry Mabey on Hanky Panky in this workout.
Right along with this show. They've done pretty well. We've gotten through almost 10 classes, I guess.
Okay, in the workout we've got 140, 114, let's see, 411,
79.
Look at these numbers. Trying to get,
that may be
okay.
76.
In our workout we have Richard Mason on Miss Autumn. We have Todd Garnett on Gaboy's Rebel. Johnny Bartlett on Blair's Miss Moden.
Thank you for your contribution to the show.
And the judge has excused these riders so they can go on back to the barn and get ready for their next class.
So the ones that he just worked out, he's excused.
He's eliminated those horses from this part of the
And now he'll work out the other riders here, right?
That's right. So we've got 6 horses left go on the rails. So we've got 5 winners and 1 loser, unfortunately, left. That's going to be tough.
That is going to be tough. So we'll try and get the numbers here. There you see Kathy Owen of Cookeville. I'm not sure who that gentleman is, but we'll try and get their numbers as they come around.
we've got Elvin Bryant on Delight's Red Demon, Carl Hollingsworth on Dwight's Mark Allen, Kathy Wallace on Dark Sun and Splash, Larry Hawker on Senator's Last Chance, David Jones on Lad's Cracker Jack, and Kathy Webb on Touch a Masterpiece.
And we talked to Kathy Wallace earlier this evening in our broadcast, and she had mentioned that she's a favorite of the crowd, obviously, on this side, but she had mentioned that she was a new rider, practically. She's been showing, well, actually a new shower, maybe, a show rider. She's been showing for a couple of years.
Kathy may have only been showing for the last couple of years, but she's been riding for a number of years.
So not a new rider, but maybe a new show rider. And there's Kathy Webb. I believe Kathy Webb is from Maryville. And that's one of the ones that you had thought.
On Touch a Masterpiece. And there we are looking at Kathy again.
Kathy Webb. And Kathy Wallace. We've got two Kathys in this.
That's right, and they're making an excellent show.
They really are.
Looking at Larry Hawker on Senator's Last Chance.
Great show horses here.
And we're looking at Carl Hollingsworth. And now we're seeing David Jones in the white jacket on Lad's Cracker Jack. And I believe that Kathy Webb's horse just broke. That certainly will be counted against her.
Now, what was that? They were doing one gate.
And her horse just went on into a canter. And that, when they brought, you just pushed them maybe a little bit too far, or maybe something on the rail pushed them.
There's Kathy Webb of Maryville. And you could see it very plainly in the shot.
And she's on the judge's side when it happened, so I'm afraid
that may count against her, right?
She may be our sixth one that
we'll have to see now. Goes out.
I'm going to stick with Kathy Wallace.
Well, I think that's a good choice.
Not any prejudice.
No. I'd like to see that, but they're all doing a nice job.
I remember when Kathy first began riding, and her father, Jeff Owens, brought her down to the house to see about getting a horse. And that's been a number of years ago. I won't say how long for Kathy's sake or mine either way.
Is the winner. You may come by the booth tonight to say there your vocational technical.
And then she started riding then, right? She may have been riding before that.
She probably had been riding before that. I'd say maybe on ponies, but he was interested in getting her into the walking horses then.
You all, I guess you've raised walking horses for a long time.
Ever since I can remember. I think he was doing that before I came along.
Your dad, Clyde Robertson?
The horses were intentional. I was probably that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Things that good aren't accidents.
Ready to present awards?
You're a good one. We're glad to have you here.
I'm loving it. At the Putnam County Horse Show, Saturday night of the fair.
Place in the class, you'll ride to the opposite side that you're parked in for the presentation. Entry number 87, Delight's Mark Allen. Carl Hollingsworth of Sparta is the rider. Riding to the blue ribbon, Carl Hollingsworth on Delight's Mark Allen. Other awards will be presented on the same side you're parked in, riders. Second place in the class, second goes to 161, Senator's Last Chance. That's Larry Hawker, Lebanon, Tennessee, riding Senator's Last Chance, 161 to second. Award third goes to 175, Touch of Masterpiece. Kathy Webb is the rider. That's getting entry on, but Danny Kathy Webb of Maryville. Touch of Masterpiece, 175 is third. Fourth award in this class, fourth goes to 188, Dark Sun Flash. Kathy Wallace of Cookville is the owner and the rider. Dark Sun Flash with Kathy Wallace up is fourth in class. And the fifth award, fifth goes in this class to number 36. Lads Cracker Jack, David Jones of Jamestown is the rider. Lads Cracker Jack, number 36, is fifth. Let's show appreciation to these riders with a big round of applause for class number 10, the amateur specialty class. Thank you, riders.
There you hear
All
our
right,
winners.
class of
Carl
15,
Hollings of
200
Sparta
horses, standing by
taking
while we
first.
get the mules
Second
to the
goes
ring.
to Larry
They're
Hawker of
coming up next. It's a
Lebanon.
mule race
Third
coming up.
to Kathy Webb of Maryville. Fourth to Kathy Wallace of Cookville. And fifth to David Jones of Jamestown. So that takes care of the winners there for that particular class. And we have another special. And we're going to go to the mule race now. Debbie, it's time for that long-awaited attraction.
If you'll notice, Becky, they're all bareback. That's part of the rules. They're not allowed to have a saddle.
Okay, get them right up there head-to-head now, fellas. Everybody gets a good, fair, and equal chance. Watch your judge, and then when you leave, you're going to get 3 rounds of each. 3 rounds of ring,
Oh, the
and
mule
one that
race.
gets back
Here
the
we go.
fastest is the winner. Everybody get lined up straight. Don't go till we tell you.
Here's my pen. I'm looking for my ink pen. Okay, and they're telling them not to go until he tells them to. They're trying to get them lined up, but I'm telling you, mules, they're hard to work with, I think.
First, they're hard to work with, and they're hard to control. You've always heard that stubborn as a mule. They're hard to control.
All right, let them go. Here we go,
Doing
fellas.
this bareback is really
Around the ring
incredible,
they
but we
go.
always manage to lose 2 or 3
3
riders.
trips around.
That's right. And they're off.
That's a long way
And
home.
Running good. Oh, no. Oh, somebody. Goodness. Oh. My goodness, bless his heart. He's telling them to go on, but we had a gentleman down on the end who was trying to keep them in the track who just got run over, I mean, big time by a couple of them.
These people are on the corner, and they're judges, and their
Keep him out on the track.
object is they're supposed to go on the outside of him, between him and the ring. If they go on the inside of him, they're supposed to be disqualified.
2 rounds and 1 to go.
I can't believe that he's strong enough to get up.
He got hit twice,
Yes.
really hard. I mean,
One in the head.
he really did. Bless his heart, he got right back up and told him to keep going.
Yeah.
He didn't stop the race, but he's waving that stick a little more now. He's
Yeah.
they come too close to him, and he's ready to move them out of the way, I think. I'm not sure who has won or done anything because I'm watching this gentleman down here who got.
Actually, there were about 3 of them that, if he could have, anybody could have kept up with them, they would have been disqualified.
There's the man that
Yeah.
got knocked down. And bless his heart, he did an incredible job to get right because he got down by one mule and then unfortunately was in the way of another one and could not get out of the
And
way.
it kicked him in the mouth
Right.
or in the face. It looked
somewhere.
like from here.
It was rough. We'll let you know who was in this race. Scotty Wilson on Lightning, Melanie Beckwith on Ginger, Jimmy Sawyers on Bread, Larry Hensley on Bill, Dale Key on Red, Charles Qualls on Domino, Mike Qualls on Lulu, and Kelly Bryant on Outlaw. Scotty Wilson is from Sparta, Melanie Beckwith and Roger McDonald was the owner of that one, is from
Know your
Cookville.
numbers, if you will, riders, so you can get your numbers and get your positions.
Jimmy Sawyers from Albany, Kentucky. Larry Hensley from Cookville. Dale Key from Monterey. Charles Qualls from Rickman and Mike Qualls from Livingston. And Kelly Bryant is from Cookville. So that was...
Appears like they're going to run again.
They're going to try it again, huh?
I thought that when you went on the inside, but you know,
Of the ring.
right, that you were that disqualified you from the race.
Well, we would certainly hate to see any serious accident come out of this.
Well, the man is incredibly big and strong, evidently, to be able to get up and right after being kicked twice.
He's getting aggravated by mule right
in the face.
That's right.
And he must be a terribly patient person to be down there and let one be pushing him around even after all that.
He probably will receive the Putnam County Hero of the Fair Award for that kind of abuse.
Well, I'd say he deserves it.
I do too. Bless his heart. I can't believe he got up, but he looks pretty big and strong. It's probably not the first time the mule's got the best time.
He got up and told him, keep going.
That's right. Just keep on.
There he is.
There he is. You can.
I think that would have knocked anybody else out.
Oh, listen. The mule had just gotten within breathing room of me, and I think I would have been gone.
Of course, I would have wanted the ambulance down there. 3 doctors.
Under walkers, you'll be getting the call in just a moment.
And I guess they're lined up to make a decision. I'm not sure who judges
That's right.
this
I thought
race.
maybe they were going to do it a runoff, but that's it.
I guess
That
it
was
is.
quick.
There may have more entries that we didn't have the names
All
on,
right.
but we're going to
We
turn it
just
over to
made history.
Drew.
We're going to have a workout in a mule race. Now we had some confusion down when they had the accident on the end of the round, so we're going to keep these 5 in, and we'll be running them. All others will be, is that the 5 that's out here? The little mules excused. All the others will be on the track and ready to run.
They're going to have a workout on the mule race.
Out there on the track and ready to run.
I believe the accident did throw everybody's attention away from what was going on in the race.
Remember now, keep them out on the track, riders, when you get ready to run. Be sure that
And
you stay
Drew
on
is
the track.
warning them again to keep them on the track, and our line judges are down there.
We'll be determining the winners.
And that gentleman down there back in spot again, as are the others.
We have Larry Hensley, I see,
No, I
riding
guess he
against
is.
that.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, he's back in spot. Yeah.
Well, he has a little protection this time.
Yeah, he's got that stick.
And a mule and an
an assistant. That's right. I believe that's Kelly Bryant of Cookville is out of the race. They excused the little mule, and they're going to leave it to the big ones, I suppose.
3 rounds now to determine the winner. 4 rounds. 4 laps. Gonna do it in a minute.
Drew says they're going to take 4 laps this time.
All right, get them ready, fellas.
So that should be quite a race.
And they're gone.
Time now.
One thing about the mules, they start inching up. You might as well let them go.
Here we go.
And it's hard to see who's in the lip there.
Down
They don't appear to be cutting the corners quite as short.
they
Keep them out on track.
Although they're still getting close enough. Somebody has taken a definite lead. I see Roger McDonald of Cookville on Ginger in the 2nd place spot there.
Mule race.
And I believe that's Charles Qualls of Rickman on Domino taking the lead.
I almost got him
They
again.
sure did. They were clipping a little close.
2 completed.
I believe they have to run 4 laps. Charles Qualls of Rickman on Domino is in the lead. Roger McDonald of Cookville on Ginger is in 2nd. And coming up a pretty close 3rd. I haven't decided who that is.
Round the
Haven't made a number. But he's gone on the inside, so they've disqualified
Keep
that
them
3rd place.
going. Out on the track.
There you see a good shot of Charles Qualls.
Larry Hensley coming up in 2nd.
All right, we got 1
I
lap
guess
to
that
go.
is Larry. Is that Larry
You're the
Hensley?
winner. Let's see who we get on the
Well, then I've
first,
been saying the
across
wrong
finish
thing.
line.
It's Larry Hensley's in second place.
Coming up on the finish line and the determined winner. 157 is first.
We had a pretty close race there for 2nd and 3rd. Wayne Abrams, he's trying to tell him who's won there. He took a break for playing the organ for the mule race.
This is a hard class to watch and see who's in and who's out.
It is a hard. And I believe Charles Qualls from Rickman on Domino was the winner there. I believe that's the number that I saw. And you said Larry Hensley was in a 2nd place.
I think he was.
But we'll probably have to find out from the main man who the winners were.
It would be nice if we could find out who this brave soul was out here.
It really would be, because he did a remarkable job. I hope he's okay. I hope he's really okay.
Well, he thought it was brave to get out there and do it again.
He was.
But he didn't mind holding that stick up
No.
for her.
He waved the stick a little better this last time. Now he's got a little rowdy. There he goes. The gentleman in the red hat is the man who certainly took a beating, so to speak.
The registration gate will be closed at 10 o'clock. The registration gate will be closed at 10. The winner setting by 15 to and under.
And they're asking for the last entry. Anybody else want to enter any last classes?
2 minutes, then, I guess.
I didn't realize they were going to keep registration open that late. But that's good because a lot of people.
And they're announcing the winner, so we're going to turn it over to Mike. The first place winner was Charles Qualls of Rickman.
A lot of endurance in that mule, isn't it? Second place to 229 Bale with Larry Hensley of Cookville riding to second. Third award to 158 Lulu and Mike Qualls of Livingston is the rider. Lulu is third. Fourth goes to 138 Lightning with Scotty Wilson riding. And the fifth award goes to 412. That's Red with Dale Key, the rider. And that's the new race, and we'll be getting ready for the
Okay.
underwalking class
And
coming up next.
That was Drew Huffine. They're giving us the winners of the mule race, and I'll run down. Oh, I'm depressed.
We're looking at the 15-2 and under walking horse class 12.
What is that?
15-2
This
and
is
under.
the class that Brenda's in.
That's right.
Brenda Turnage. That's right. Let me finish these winners real fast. Oh, Peter has brought us cotton candy and a candy apple. Oh, and I'm going to share. Okay, mule race real fast. Let's see. Second place went to Larry Hensley. Third place went to Mike Walls of Livingston. Fourth to Scotty Wilson of Sparta. And fifth went to Dale Key of Monterey. And this is our class 12. What does that mean?
15-2 and under. These horses are smaller than a normal horse. When you measure them from the ground up to the front shoulders, they're 15 hands and 2 inches or fingers or under. So these horses could easily be in your walking pony class. They're a real popular horse because there's a lot more classes that you can enter these horses in than any other horse class. And I think we're looking at Brenda.
There's Brenda Turnage.
And she looks nice on a pretty showy sorrel-colored horse with hind stockings.
And the horse's name is Too Much Trouble.
You know, they are a lot of trouble.
I guess they can be.
That's right. She's making a good show.
She sure is. And Brenda talked with us earlier and said that she'd just been riding for a couple of, well, had been showing for a couple of years and doing a very nice job. Along with the others in our class, we have Penny Phillips on Sensations King from Cookville.
We have John Swafford from Spring City, actually Pikeville, on Prince Copy.
David Hancock on Leroy Brown from Jamestown.
Tommy Bandy from Allgood on Hotshot Pride.
And Brenda Turnage on Too Much Trouble from Cookville.
Ronnie Cleary from Tompkinsville, Kentucky on Pride Mac.
And Roger McDonald on Shakersbury from Monterey.
All right, that's a good class in front of us. And we're looking at Pride Mac with Ronnie Cleary from Tompkinsville. Number 413 is Roger McDonald on Sure's Glory. And he's making a good show.
Sensations King, Penny Phillips of Cookville is the Spring City, Tennessee. 292, David Hancock.
And we'll go back and mention the riders in the class again. Penny Phillips from here in Cookville. John Swafford from Pikeville. David Hancock from Jamestown. Tommy Bandy from August. Brenda Turnage from Cookville. Ronnie Clary from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. And we're looking at number 35, Tommy Bandy from August on Hot Shots Pride. And he's making an excellent show. And also in the class we have, again, Mr. McDonald and Shaker's Glory.
413, Shaker's Glory.
They're in the canter right now, or the rocking horse. Okay. And
Mr. McDonald riding for Philip Shoes of Monterey.
they call for a flat-foot walk, and so they're on the rail.
Competing in the class.
We've got 7 horses competing in this class, making a fine show in the 15 2 and under.
Now let's show the canter.
And we're looking at Ron Clary on Prize Match from Tompkinsville. You know, Becky, these people from Tompkinsville had a long way to go to get here in time for this show. We really appreciate seeing these people come in from out of town and contribute to the Cookville Putnam County Horse Show. And they're taking the reverse and starting again on the flat-foot walk. And we're looking at Leroy Brown with David Hancock up. And I guess that light blue jacket. Good luck with that light blue color. Wanting a blue ribbon to go out of the gate with.
I hadn't totally left you, Debbie. I was just taking a candy apple break for a second.
I've talked nonstop since you've been out. They're probably glad you're back.
No, I don't think so.
He's doing a fine job.
It's a good class.
It's an excellent class. I think the 15 2 and under horses are a little showier and make a better show because they're so small. They look a little flashier or neater.
Now, are they younger or are they just that's the way they
they're
are?
just smaller horses.
They won't get any bigger?
No, they might get fat like me, but not any
no.
taller.
No.
Oh, that may be because I'm so short why I like the 15 2 and under.
That's a good one.
Didn't have to have a soapbox on those.
Did you ride in this class?
A lot. It's a good class for ladies. Used to, ladies were only allowed to ride a gelding or a mare. They were not allowed to ride a stallion. You had an amateur class or a juvenile class or a ladies class. We're looking at 46 with Penny Phillips up on Sensations King. But used to, you were not allowed to ride anything in those classes except a gelding or a mare. And now they've opened that up a little bit. And Penny Phillips is making a fine show. That's Ray Ellen Phillips' daughter.
And you see Brenda there, Brenda Turnage from Cookville.
Looking good.
She is on Too Much Trouble.
Notice how these riders really do concentrate on what they're doing rather than looking around at the crowd. Sometimes you've got friends on the rail and they'll want to say, "Hey, Brenda, how you doing?" And they've asked for the canter, and Miss Phillips is taking a fine lead there in the canter. Looking at Prize Mac with Ronnie Clary up from Tompkinsville. He seems to be a crowd favorite, too.
I think we got a lot of crowd favorites here.
Yeah. I noticed when the crowd started clapping when a Cookville Brenda Turnage went in front of the judge.
That's right.
It's hard to go up against somebody that's in their hometown because the crowd's usually with them.
Makes a big difference. But we've had a lot of fun from out of town here tonight.
And we're looking at Shaker's Glory with Roger McDonald up.
And he's certainly making a nice showing. Looks real sharp.
He looks real good. Take a look at these riding habits tonight while they're in this class. They've changed the trend. The trend now is to have a little more conservative look, and they're riding attire than they used to have. The judge, by the way, is asked them to come in and line up so he can take a closer look at them. But a few years back, the riding attire called for a flashy look, and the thought was that the flashier the riding attire, the quicker the judge's eyes would catch you and stay with you. But now they've gone back to a little more conservative look, back to what's supposed to be the traditional Southern look.
And they're lining up on our side of the grandstand, the north side. So we'll get to take a good close look at it. That's a nice shot. That's a
nice shot. And it shows the harness work that they use on these horses is normally conservative, except for their brow band or nose band, as in this case, and the ribbons that they put in horses' hair usually matches the colors on the rider. And that's Mr. Bandy.
Tommy Bandy of All Good, isn't it?
On Hot Shots Pride. He's made an excellent show.
And
go ahead.
There's Brenda Turnage of Cookville on Too Much Trouble.
She's looking happy. Made a good show, and she should look happy.
She should. She's doing a good job. We had back in the spring, there's a show, I guess around the 1st of June, or sometime around there, the Upper Cumberland Walking Horse Show, and Brenda had helped with that, and I went and did a story on that and watched her in a training session with her trainer, Ray Chaffin, and it was really interesting.
Imagine it was. It's good to go back behind the scenes and see what goes into the preparation for these shows. It's tremendous.
It is a lot of work. It really is. And but he was giving her some good pointers, you know. He kept saying, concentrate, concentrate. And I guess as a rider, that's the main thing, is you have to keep your mind on your business.
That's right. If you're nervous, that horse can feel it through you somehow in setting there. They can sense that.
Class number 12.
If you're at ease, then the horse is more at ease. And the more you're around the horse, the more, it's like Brenda said earlier tonight when you interviewed her, that the more you're around that horse and the more you have that personal touch with him, the more at ease he's going to be with you and the better off you are in the show. Look at the sweat on these horses.
They've been working, haven't they?
He really gave them a good workout. And here we have Wayne Neighbors and Donald Pierce and Drew Huffine. They've worked very hard tonight to help out with this Putnam County Horse Show.
And they've got a
presentation of the awards in class number 12, 15-2 and under walking.
And we have Miss
15-2
Phillips.
and under. You'll get your awards on the same platform.
Penny Phillips.
We're going to turn over to Drew Huffine now.
Number 523, Ronnie Clary riding Prize Mac. Entry on the Clary Ritter, Tunkinsville, Kentucky, and Ronnie Clary riding Prize Mac. 523 is first. Your second place award goes to 137 Prince Copy. That's John Swafford, the rider. Entry on the Debbie Swafford, Spring City. John Swafford rides to second in the class. Third award goes to number 46, Sensations King. Penny Phillips rides. This is John Burrell and Phillips of Cookville. Penny Phillips riding Sensations King. 46 is third. Fourth award goes to number 35, Hot Shots Pride. Tommy Bandy of All Good is the only rider. Tommy Bandy on Hot Shots Pride, 35 is fourth. And the fifth award to 109, Too Much Trouble. Brenda Tonnage is the rider. Brenda Tonnage riding Too Much Trouble, 109 is fifth. Thank you, riders, and give them a big round of applause.
Yes,
Here for the 15-2 and
great
under
showing
walking.
there. I'm glad to see Brenda place fourth, and of course everybody did a tremendous job in this, and good showing. You want to run down through our winners again?
Okay, our fifth place winner, of course, was Brenda Turnage on Too Much Trouble. Fourth was Leroy Brown with David Hancock up. Our third was Cindy.
Yes, they are, and we appreciate everything. And thank you, Becky, for being so sweet.
Well, you're welcome, and I tell you what, those folks who won those quilts are in for a real treat. I'm going to try again next year. All righty, we'll see ya.
There was plenty of space between each entry, so we got a good one to see. You got a big ring to work in. Get out there and do your stuff.
Okay, we're looking at the style racking class, and they're allowed to have built-up feet, and
We got to find our papers here.
that's right. We have. All right, let us get our sheets, and we'll let you know who's in this class. Class number 13, style racking horses with built-up feet. Incidentally, we've had a lot more racing horses here tonight. because we've had more racing classes than any other show, I understand, from Jimmy Robertson, who's on the committee, than they've had at any other show in Tennessee. So we're proud of that.
This is a big class, as you can see. Lots of entries. 405 is Leland Spriggs from Crossville, riding Pride's Promise Me. There you see him. There you see number 50. Oh, you did. We'll just go down through here and give you the names. You may see somebody you recognize, and then we'll try and match up the numbers in just a little bit. We've got J. King on King's Wild Spirit. J.L. King is from Scottsville, Kentucky.
We have Nip Given from
Tompkinsville.
That's right, on Grove and Sam.
Traveling. It looks like a G, but it's a T. And we got G.E. Thompson from, I assume, Tompkinsville on Supreme's Echo.
Leland Spriggs from Crossville on Pride's Promise Me.
Number 32 is James Pierce from Monterey on Another Fool.
Brian Willis from Lafayette, Tennessee on Ace's Idle Life.
Also, Mike Swafford from Spring City on The Reverend and Mr. Black.
Joella Penny Club from Livingston on Strike Tour. And we're looking at number 6, Max, with Jenny Ray up from Tompkinsville. And we have John Garrett on Another Black Shadow from Jamestown.
And Ted, I believe that's Ted Turner. Not sure. From Hillham on Delightful Shaker.
And Lonnie Belly from Hillham on Spark Carolina, 61.
Randall Pitcock from Tompkinsville, Kentucky on Pride's Fair Change.
David Miller from Tompkinsville on Steamboat Willie.
Also from Tompkinsville is Jimmy Ray Gerald. Or you mentioned that earlier. Maybe just Jimmy Ray on Mad Max.
Connie Wilson from Tompkinsville on Shadow, number 20.
And also from Tompkinsville, J.E. Thompson, Mr. Magic's Black Angel.
And we've got a timeout, Becky. We've lost a shoe, so the farrier is on the clock. They're timing him.
That's Richard Carey from Cookville.
And he's got 7 minutes to get the show back on the road.
And we may just take a little break here while he's doing that to let you see one of the other highlights we've been working on during the fair this week. We're going to let you look at the photo contest while the farrier gets a workout.
Well, we're
Who
back
signed up at the WCTE TV booth. We certainly appreciate it and hope that you will come back next year, because we're going to give lots more away, and we're going to chain it down. It doesn't leave the booth ever until we're ready for it.
It wasn't me, really, it wasn't.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
We said you didn't even get to sign up,
Yeah,
so maybe you just... No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that.
We're back on the rail again with the style racking class.
They had to take a time out there while they got a shoe back on, right?
And they got it back on in time, and we didn't lose anybody. So we're doing good.
We are doing good.
And again, Becky, they only had 7 minutes to find the shoe and get the horse reshod.
There's number 25, who is John Garrett of Jamestown on Another Black Shadow. There's number 50, Joel Pennicup of Livingston from Riding Strike Force.
The style rack now, the style rack, please.
And I'll try to remind you who some of the folks are in this particular class. It's a big, big class. There you see number 104, and that is Ted Turner, I believe. or Lerner, maybe Ted Lerner, on Delightful Thicker. He's from Hillham. On King's Wild Spirit is J.L. King from Scottsville, Kentucky. There you see Randall Pitcock of Tompkinsville, Kentucky on Pride's Fair Change. We have J.E. Thompson on Supreme's Echo. Neil Givens on Traveling Sam from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. Leland Spriggs on Pride's Promise Me from Crossville. James Pierce on Monterey on Another Fool. Brian Willis from Lafayette on Ace's Idle Dice. Mike Swafford from Spring City on The Reverend Mr. Black. Joella Pennicuff from Livingston on Strike Force. John Garrett from Jamestown on Another Black Shadow. Ted Lerner from Hillham on Delightful Staker. Tony Belly, possibly, from Hillham on Sparkle Carolina 61. There you see J.L. King from Scottsville, Kentucky on King's Wild Spirit. Also Randall Pitcock on Pride's Change from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. David Miller on Steamboat Willie. Jimmy Ray Gerald on Mad Max from Tompkinsville. Connie Wilson from Tompkinsville on Shadow. And J.E. Thompson from Tompkinsville on Mr. Magic's Black Angel. Lots of people from Tompkinsville in this category.
This is an extremely good class we're looking at tonight, Peggy.
There you see Randall Pitcock from Tompkinsville on Pride's Fair Change, and there's number 20.
And again, these horses are going for style, where usually when you think about a ranking horse, you think of speed. But the conformity and consistency of the gait and their style is what the judge is looking at in this particular class. So this is a more dressed up version of your ranking horses than what we're used to seeing.
And it's a big, big class.
Now, it's been the judge's trend tonight to divide up and have workouts, but because of the delay they had with the...
Whether they'll do that?
I really doubt that he will. We'll just have to say. I don't expect that he will, though.
And we have quite a few classes tonight. Just to let you know some of the things that are coming up. We'll be seeing the Walking Show Pleasure, 3-year-old walking horses, the Open Western Pleasure. There you see number 861, who is Lonnie Bell, or Lonnie Belly, on Spark Caroline 861. So that may just be Spark Caroline with a no number. We're not sure. He's from Ham. Putting on a nice show in front of the crowd here at Putnam County Fair. If you've enjoyed the Putnam County Fair coverage we've brought to you, then we'd like to hear from you. Give us a call at our station, 528-2222, from 8 to 4:30 weekdays. Let us know, or drop us a card at WCTE TV, Post Office Box 2040, Cookville, Tennessee, 38502. We'd sure like to hear from you and like to know what you'd like to see more of or what you like best. And they're going to line up on the south side of the ring to make a decision.
Becky, did you make your decision?
Did I make a decision? No.
I'm going to go for a wild guess. I've been over here eating candied apples.
No, you haven't been watching. You've been eating.
But I'm going to guess John Swafford.
John Swafford. And he was from Pikeville, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Now, what was his number? Well, I hope it's going to be number 1 in a minute.
I don't.
Mike Swafford, let's see.
You sure John's in this category?
Maybe it's Mike Swafford I'm thinking about.
It could be. The Reverend Mr. Black from Spring
49.
City. See, you got into that candy apple too good, I know.
Well, it's the last night of the Putnam County Fair.
You have to eat all those good things, don't you?
It's going to be 365 days more before I can eat another one.
I know. Listen, I plan to make my way around the fair. I hope tonight and do a little eating. And there's some good friends of mine sitting over there, Cindy Spears and Burton Putnam and Molly Woolbright and Ricky Johnston. They're all taken in there tonight. Ricky came all the way up from Lawrenceburg tonight just to see the Putnam County Fair and to visit with us a while.
Well, he certainly looks like he's enjoying
I
himself.
think he is. He's got on his cowboy boots, and he's probably been trotting around, checking out the horses and the girls.
You know, when I came in tonight, it was about 6:30 as I tried to get in. I think it was close to 7 by the time I got through, but
I can imagine.
as I came in, this is the first year I've noticed that they've had the horses not only back here at the stables, but as you came in, the main entrance, they were behind the women's building.
Oh.
So we've had a tremendous number of horses that have been here tonight.
There's been a tremendous showing from outside, really, of the Upper Cumberland region.
So we want to thank everybody.
Sure, for coming down.
I understand there's a lot of people from Kentucky that see this program.
They do. We have a good viewership from Kentucky, especially Tompkinsville and all up around that area of Kentucky. We certainly appreciate their viewership and get notes of interest from them on occasion.
So when they're watching this winter, we want to say thank you for coming to Cookeville.
That's right. We appreciate it and hope you'll come back next year. And we are live from the Putnam County Fair for 1987. This is the last night, and it's moving into the wee hours, I suppose, of the evening. We're going to turn to Drew Huffines for the winners now.
Style ranking class. First place award winner goes to entry number 199, Aces Idle Dice, and Brian Willis is the rider. Brian Willis, he's from Lafayette, Tennessee, riding Aces Idle Dice. 199 is first. Second place award in this class, second goes to number 50, Strike Force. Joella Pennycuff of Livingston is the rider. Joella Pennycuff on Strike Force number 50, second. Third in this class goes to number 207. 207 is Pride's Fair Change. Randall Pickock, Tompkinsville, Kentucky riding. Pride's Fair Change, 207 is third. Fourth award goes to number 94, Mr. Magic's Black Angel. J.E. Thompson, Tompkinsville, Kentucky is the rider. Mr. Magic's Black Angel. 94 is fourth. And the fifth award, fifth goes to 116, King's Wild Spirit. J.L. King, Scottsville, Kentucky, is the rider of this entry. In a good style ranking class, let's give these riders a great big round of applause and a good class. Thank you, riders. A style ranking class. 13-14 is next. That's your walking show pleasure class to be ready and standing by. It'll be followed by the 3-year-old walking horses, the open west pleasure, the amateurs on walking horses.
Yeah, that was a really good class as we have our winners here. Debbie, we had Brian Willis of Lafayette taking first on the Aces Idle Dice. Second went to Joella Pennycuff from Livingston on Strike Force. Third to Randall Pitcock, Tompkinsville, Kentucky on Pride's Fair Change. Fourth went to J.E. Thompson from Tompkinsville, Kentucky on Mr. Magic's Black Angel. And fifth to J. King from Scottsville, Kentucky on King's Wild Spirit.
Well, these people from Kentucky certainly did well.
They did well in this particular class.
They sure
and
did.
have done well all night. So that was a good one, wasn't it?
It was a great class, and I'm surprised the judge was able to get all that he did through as quick as he did, since he had so many in there. It's the first class he's had that size tonight that he didn't break down into a workout.
That is true. And there you see one of the nice trophies that they are giving out. That's a big one. That's a big trophy. And it's other little trophies in there too. So I bet you got several of those.
I've got several trophies, and I found out that you can recycle these trophies